good to go. And we do have, we did get a couple of coins dropped in our little tip jar last week by one of our players, one of our viewers.
Hooray!
Ironically, his name is the Rainbow One, and he came on to watch the encounters with Ralgrim on Wednesday. So the Rainbow Veil apparently is starting to catch on as a possibility. Of course, don't tell Ralgrim that Earl started religion and become a god or something. Alrighty, this is Nycos D&D Whispers in the Mist. Today's episode titled Apocrypha. At least one of our players isn't here yet, but they will probably be here in a while, so we'll leave the door slightly open for them. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and give player character name, class, race, and what you think the Soprazzo are.
Soprazzo?
Yeah. Matt's got his mouth full. So we'll go this way. That was quick. Oh, but good timing. Good timing. We're just now doing introductions.
You're the first one dropping blood.
The question for the day, when it comes down to you, name, class, race, and what do you think the Soprazzo are?
Lucius Kane, human ranger, monster hunter. I still, or at least my character still thinks that there's something demonic behind everything. Behind at least the Soprazzo.
So that there is at least something really evil. Yeah. There's actually really evil here. Need dice? Entable. Okay, Jean?
I am Kiara Sunfire. I am a divine sorcerer cleric. And, I think there is something very evil in many places that are all sticking their tentacles, flippers, fins, silver uniforms, and other appendages into make a mess of Nycos.
They're all trying to mess up Nycos.
Yeah, they're all on Wednesday. No.
Everybody wants a cut of the pie as soon as the pie gets cooked beyond redemption.
Beyond redemption. Ooh, that's kind of funny. Merritt?
My character's name is Tayun Ahmed. I am a drunken master monk with a new fancy little chin divot scar from speaking too much Yarlum last week.
Did you speak a little Yarlum?
Sharing
some of your heritage, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Don't know what I am. But, I posited the mafia, like the mafia theory for the Soprazzo last week.
So, the Soprazzo sound like soprano, don't they?
So I think they're just like an organized crime kind of, and they're kind of utilizing a lot of the darkness that's, I think it's just like business. They're seeing a lot of this negative stuff coming out of.
So the opportunism that you experienced when you were a younger person, you're seeing everywhere. Is what you're saying.
I see. I think they're seeing like a lot of evil coming around, and they're saying, "Hey, let's see if we can add a little theater to this and write it out and see if we can scare some people into giving us some money."
There you go. And gravelings and everything else.
I think it's like a coalition of just
an axis of evil, if you will.
Yeah, almost. Like they don't discriminate. I mean, the halfling from a couple weeks back, and I think it's just a coalition of people that are like, let's make a quick buck.
Fair enough.
I'm Matt. I play Kern with an E. The Soprazzo, I'm kind of just I'm just with the whole they're the nice little mafia country.
Okay. Alrighty. So
we have a little Italy coming at us.
Got you. Sicily. The mafia is from Sicily. Don't get that wrong, because they will break your legs just for that.
But the Soprazzo aren't.
That's true.
Part of the mafia.
That's true. All right. So our story so far, we are currently the saddle is currently anchored at the mouth of the bay, or did you actually go into the bay?
We anchored at the mouth and we took the tugboat in, and we went around. Remember?
The dinghy.
to
That's
the
right.
swamps.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's right. You
The
entered through the
swamps.
swamps. So we are on the
We're on top of the.
we're on the south side. We're on the south side of Chicago. I mean, the south side of the south side of the haunted mansion.
Yeah, we're chilling in the bar. The rundown.
The
bar.
rundown bar after.
The rundown.
After
bar.
we talked to Slimish McGee or whatever his name was.
Whatever was his name.
I have it.
I'm sticking with Schlimus.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
Bob.
And we found the.
Oh, and actually, he did give his full name. Bob Shignigarath, remember?
Oh yeah. Shignether. And then you found the stuff in the chest to the like clothes, the monster clothing.
The
The
fake.
Scooby Doo clothes.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, after
Yeah.
I died.
Did you die?
No, I didn't. I cleared
You
my death
almost
saving
died.
rolls, so I almost died.
You got a nat one.
That's right. You got you started off with that's right. You started off with a double fail on the
I
death
was
saves.
playing risky. I was playing real risky.
Well, you know that whole I gave up everything to become a monk, and then I gave up being a monk to be dead. You know, that's a fair trade. You know.
I gave up being a monk to be a charlatan.
Yeah, so I mean that's where we were.
All right. Well, you're still here, so you did get you did get a long rest since you chased away Bob. The gate is still there. The mark is still on the ground. So, and there's the two traps down below. You found one. You discovered one of them.
No, but then remember he investigated the bottom, so he told us about the other one.
Right, you're aware of both.
Now I
Now
told you.
we're-
About yeah, there's that.
Oh yeah. By the way, if you were going to fall, you should have fallen out the other way.
By the way, if you,
That one wouldn't have killed you. This one.
if you take 2 steps to the right,
I didn't have enough time to
Walk
tell everybody.
on the left
Trying to kill that
side.
blob thing.
no, my left.
I only found a single box of gravelings, so we found one of the boxes.
One crate.
And didn't we find a crate of arrowheads?
Oh yeah, you're right.
And a crate of arrowheads, which is really scary. So somebody's
Yeah,
gathering
that's
weapons.
what I need to ask the Primus about.
Well, you're not not in town. You're
We're not in town. Of
No.
course we're not in town. Okay.
write down your questions to ask later, so you don't forget. Yeah.
Says a random voice.
No, Bob shouts it through the dimensional port. Make sure you write down your question.
He's coming in clearer in his dimensional
Do you
space
ever-
than he is in
And we're-
person.
Did we ever find out about those arrowheads? I know they were magical, but
They did
But we
detect
didn't-
as magic.
we didn't find out.
All that glitters is gold.
No, you didn't find anything out about them. You didn't even know whose they were.
We just know that
It's-
somebody wants them.
Gravelings combined with those magical airheads.
Oh, do you want to put 2 and 2
By the
together?
way, when we
Well,
get
not
back to
put them
town,
together, but
I
find
would
out.
like one of those arrowheads to discuss with the Primus what they could possibly be used for. Hopefully we can get them identified at the same time.
So the Hula Watch tower light is still on.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you the wind has been blowing out to sea, so the fog has been thinning here, so you can see a little more clearly. And even from here, in addition to the crocodiles, which you already discovered, farther inland you see a skiff, a flat-bottomed vessel, normally used for navigating waters like the bog. But the interesting thing about the skiff's placement is that it seems to be being held in place by a loop of kelp.
Like it looks like it's ensnared, or
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like somebody put it there.
Right.
It looks like
It's like literally it was drifting down and the kelp flopped over the outside of the pumpkin place.
Okay.
Yeah, like kelp always rises up out of the water and flops it. It's out into a
Yeah, kelp's always flopping like that.
tangles itself in the propeller.
Everyone knows that.
Let's go investigate, guys.
Oh, that
I'm feeling risky.
Oh, that wily kelp. It'll never change.
That's why you run through the bog screaming, "Kelp! Kelp me!"
What if I land too if I kelp?
Exactly. You're kelping me, Smalls.
I can't kelp myself.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
Put that one on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you painted the crystals. Cool.
Oh yeah. Per request.
Yeah.
Never ask kelp for help because they give you kelping hands.
We'll talk to Kelpum later.
Okay.
So we're still inside the
Yeah,
the rickety
you're
one-legged.
standing on the You're standing on the at the what's it called? The revolt.
Yeah, the revolt. I look at Lucius real quick and be like, "Hey, man, we good?" Because I get like a feeling that he's like,
And you're at full hit points, by the way, after the long rest.
yeah. I just kind of look at him and be like, "Hey, man, you have a tendency of shooting stuff, and you seem to be a little jarred when I was speaking a language that I didn't know I could speak."
You were speaking that language?
I mean, we
Now you tell him. Now you tell him.
Well, you already
We
asked.
just rescued me. We just rescued you, and I'm just helping you after I find
Be careful
You?
with that black tongue.
Is it Black Tongue? I mean, I legitimately don't know how I know it. I just something like clicked.
Yeah, your voice.
That didn't it?
Yeah, some of those words though, they're killer to speak.
You see the star.
You wanna know how I got this gun?
See, I was talking to this dude.
I'm sorry I can do nothing for that scar. Maybe when I get better at what I do, I can.
I'll be watching you.
I mean,
You watch me, you watch him. Who's
So you got that
watching you?
scar because you spoke?
No one needs to
I
watch
don't
me.
know.
No one
I'll
needs
let
to
you go.
watch
So
you.
she just said that she'd button your yap.
There we go. There we go. I'm just saying, you can watch me, but like,
He's starting to quote police.
let's not.
Every step you take,
You're
every
very,
clam you bake.
You're very
Every kelp you
very
take.
you're very crossbow happy, so you know, just asking you to.
Yeah, he shot a creature from beyond this realm.
After I
He
That's
yelled,
chased-
what I do.
He
After-
successfully chased it out of the realm. He
after
feels
I
like
li-
successful.
after I'd yelled, "Hey, we're having a conversation. Don't come in shooting." He kind of came in shooting. Kern was standing behind me, and he was like, cool with it. He came in shooting.
BP just for the look. That was awesome. Blink. What?
He didn't, you know,
That's not how that went. That's not how that went at all.
just go with the Kern. Just go with it.
Papa poker face.
It's a little too much now.
You failed at the poker face. That was too good.
I'm just trying to not get shot by one of my party members when I'm not looking, is what I'm asking.
Lucius, there's a lot of things happening
Thank you, John, for making me need to
that
take
are
out my
totally
character
out
sheet.
of our
Welcome.
understanding, certainly out of my understanding, and beyond what is normal. But at least we have banded together in the hopes of making it better for more people. I don't know how you define good, but people who seek to do things for others that make their lives better or other things better are not bad people, not evil people. People who work for their own good and not the good of others, those border on evil and often cross over into evil. We have been working together to the best of our abilities, trying to find our way through all this new stuff.
This is going to be hysterical from your standpoint. You're getting a lecture on how to be a good Nycosian by a person from outside of the environment.
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
I still haven't some
corruption
human
is
in you.
even all.
I've just snuck one of the gold arrows.
I'm not trying to
just
get you-
fiddling with it.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm not trying to.
Just
Now there's only 499 in the box.
I'm not trying to
Again.
get.
Just like the other box.
I'm not trying to get you to not do you.
take one out, pass it around.
I am not
The
always
99
so
arrowheads
sure.
One
pass
for
around.
you, one for
Just
me.
a moment.
2 for me, 1 for you.
3 for me, 1 for you. I'm not
See?
always sure that
She even did it.
that knowing gold makes a poor weapon.
Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll divvy them up.
There must be something due to its magic that
Mr. Dungeon Master.
is
Only
someplace
4 piles of 125.
we might not want people
arrowheads.
to have these things.
For each of us to carry that
I
way in
agree.
the event that
Other
something's
people
lost, we
have.
don't lose the whole pot.
So I think whatever we find
Sure.
doesn't go
They're all
back
sharp objects, putting them into
until
bags.
we know
That's a
more
great
about
plan.
it.
Thick pouches.
Think about this.
Well, we do
Thick
have one
pouches.
crate of those arrowheads already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
he's
divvied
now
them
divvied them out. He broke out the
Oh.
broke them out and sorted them into groups of 125. So
supposed
each
to-
person.
Supposed to return
Now I
those
have a question.
Yes,
for
but
a
in
reward. A
yes,
very
but in the
good
event that
reward.
he gets lost, you don't want to lose all 500.
Let's,
We're not gonna give them all 500 in
But
the
who-
first place.
But
No.
then who carries them all? And that
It
person
stays
gets
on
lost.
the ship.
but who gets?
What's if the ship's lost?
Wait. You broke them into 125 each. Who
Yeah.
gets the other 100?
It's 500.
No, in this
Yeah,
box
that's all.
you took 100.
Yeah, that's only 400 though. 125 each for 4 of us. Who's the 5th person?
It's 500.
What?
on.
Do the
125
math.
times
Do the math.
4.
125
Oh, I
times
thought he
4.
said he wasn't giving me any
Count
because
me.
I get lost.
No.
Oh, he
No.
said just in case I get lost.
That's
Right.
why
Oh,
everyone
gotcha,
gets
gotcha. I
equal
thought you
amounts.
guys were divvying. I thought it was like.
But she
My bad.
remembers the 100 that's missing out of the other crate, and he said he took some.
I never said I took any.
He said that meta though. He didn't say
He's
that.
not
Okay.
admitted. He's never.
Okay.
He
He's
said
never
that.
admitted that
Okay.
there was.
Yeah, he
he
said
just
that.
said, "Ooh, look, there's a case here. There's 100 missing."
Yeah, he said that in meta, so he didn't say it to us.
No,
I
no.
found
Look, there's a case here.
incredible
There's only
is he
400.
knew that 100 were missing.
No, that was an assessment because when the guy said he's looking for cases of 500, you had found a case of 400. You had assumed
Yes.
that he took them, but he said, "I found a case there was 400 in it." He never actually specified that he took them.
I've never
We
once shared.
all know he did, but formally he's never actually admitted it.
She does.
Kern is, after all, trying to be a pirate. He's a good guy, but he's trying to be a pirate.
She's still twisted. So you did not take 100 out of that case.
I did not take 100 out of one of the cases that we found. Yes.
There's 2 cases we found.
Yes, and I did not take 100 out of it.
Out of both cases, you took.
Out of both cases, I have not taken 100 out.
Out of neither case, you've taken 100.
I have taken 125 out of this one.
No.
And you got 125, and you got 125.
So you're totally not
I don't know where to go.
answering
Huh?
the
I don't
question.
know where to go from here.
I'm answering your
yeah,
question.
okay.
No,
The submarine.
But-
not
We
completely.
could try to track the submarine again, get it under
Well,
us,
weren't we-
and then jump in and try to break in.
Well, weren't we trying to? I mean, I think with the Gators, we need
Okay,
something now.
so you came here to find out whether or not the
there was any credence to
the rumor that they weren't actually from another place.
and
But then you ran into something from another place.
yeah,
Yes.
but he was very clear that he was not part of the Soprazzo.
Right.
He was there because he was actually eating Soprazzo. He had ate some of the prior inhabitants that went over there.
Right. The ones who brought the crates.
The
Yes.
bones in the corner.
Yeah, and the ones for the ones that the people, whoever was wearing the costumes.
Then
that
how
were-
did he know that the guys were putting the crates there?
I don't think I don't know. He never cleared up why he was there, but he was just saying that like.
Well, that becomes suspicious in its own right. But what is
Well, the fact that his emblem is still there after he departed, it wasn't like it was a closing of a dimensional portal. It's still a functional portal.
well,
and
then
just
let's
the-
get rid,
just
destroy
the-
the functional portal.
The theater of the revolt too, because
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be looked run down, but we based on their investigations, we know that it's
It's been-
shored up pretty well.
Right.
It's actually pretty sturdy for how rickety it looks.
Right.
It's a niche bar, you know. Sometimes you just say, "I want to go to a dive," and somebody has made a dive.
Just a moment.
Maybe there's a
I
board in
think we
back.
should destroy the symbol there.
I can only punch it. I have no.
Perhaps our monster
Well-
hunter should study it to make sure if there's anything to learn from it
I was
before
gonna
we
ask
destroy
about
it.
exorcism or consecration, but
So Do you have consecration as a? Do you have ritual?
No.
No.
It's only paladins or clerics.
Clerics, paladins, druids get rituals.
Okay.
Wizards can if they take a special feat, but
Divine
otherwise-
soul, sorcerer.
Yeah, you'd have to ask your sorcerer.
I want to punch it a couple times.
I only have holy water. I mean,
I was just
I'm
saying
gonna
if you want, once if it's
investigate.
carved, you
He's
want to make a
asking whether or
rubbing.
not you have consecration or ritual.
Not at this level.
Does anybody here understand languages?
No.
I understand my
Comprehend language is a
Comprehend.
magic
I don't
spell.
understand yours.
No, like comprehend
I'll
languages where they
go
can read
ahead
anything,
and
right?
investigate.
Is that what that one does?
Or
If I
okay.
rest, I can take an augury. An augury might let me know whether it would be a good or bad thing to.
So go ahead and make an investigation check.
Who?
Him, because he's actually
Investigating.
9.
9. Okay, it seems that it might be a magical portal rather than a gate. Because the sense you're getting from the emblems is that it's a portal to another place in this realm. It's not a does not appear to be leaving.
It's
the
not
realm.
a dimensional gateway. It's just
Right.
a.
So
It's a link between two areas,
yes.
Can I?
which means Current does not understand this.
I'm gonna take out my forgery kit
Okay.
and I'm gonna copy it in 2 pieces, so that when they're overlaid, you can read them clearly, but not to actually have the insignia in my pocket at all times.
Oh, and so you don't actually ever write any of the individual symbols, just half of each symbol.
Half of each symbol on the same page, so when they're overlaid, it makes the full one, but just not so it's.
Oh, isn't that Mr. Clever? I'll give you a BP just for coming up with that. That's a great mechanic. So he starts pulling out a piece of of tracing paper, starts going to town
I
on it.
don't have augury.
Is it carved
yet,
into the
but
wood,
there
or
is
is
a
Yeah, it looks more like it's burned
second
into the
level
wood.
spell?
Do I recognize the symbols? Are they in any?
Oh, they're infernal. No,
So-
not infernal. Abyssal.
Is it a specific? I understand abyssal.
Yeah, it's
Is it just like a?
no, it's a song.
link these two places to another?
But but the issue is that the song is familiar to you. The meter of it feels a little bit like, I'm gonna make it really trite, but it's like a round, like row your boat. The words aren't very difficult, and they repeat. And as you're reading it, since you rolled so poorly, go ahead and now make an intelligence save. Because it's so lyrical that you actually will find yourself actually saying the words. Oh,
Humming the
nice! I can see that die roll. Your roll is a 3.
I rolled a 1
Can I
plus
give them
2.
help? Can I give them help?
Well, no, you actually
You're
you're
doing your
actually
thing.
sitting there scratching, and
I'm just like.
he's tracing the words around, so he's
I
actually
abstract
passing
myself.
over your tracing paper as he's talking, and as he traces over it, you see his hand fade. You're like, what the hell? I can see through his hand, and then he's not there.
Oh, gee, what did he do?
He teleported. He activated.
He
it.
followed
One
him.
of these adventures is not like the other.
No, it's more like
My intelligence is 14.
5 more
Strong
days
than me.
till Halloween. Halloween. Silver.
There's a lot going on
shamrock.
today.
A lot going on right now.
So,
You're talking about characters getting a chance to restart, right? Oh, I didn't mean now.
I like
Hey,
the character.
it's okay. I got.
Come on in. Come on in.
Remember, you saw
You're
my,
paladin,
all
right?
the pictures.
He
of
is
all
a
As the
paladin.
paladin walks in right after we needed him.
No, I just imagine they switch places.
Our paladin shows up right after you disappear.
Paladin
Who comes
actu-
through the gate?
Paladin had actually gone out to check out the skiff, and he goes walking back. Hey, dude, that skiff over there,
awesome.
that kelp is like holding the skiff. Where'd he
That's
go?
great.
You actually see these guys are kneeling down over that emblem that was on the floor where Bob vanished. He's tracing it. He's got a piece of tracing paper, and he's tracing on it. He's standing beside him, and he's running his fingers around the words. And you, as you walk in, you watch his lips move. He's actually reading the words, and he vanishes. He fades out of existence.
Oh, good. I don't have to break this into 5 groups of 100. Still 125.
No,
Yeah, he's about to.
Nice.
Um,
Here you go. It's a half.
so those are
It'd be 100.
125
No, it'd be
gold.
100.
No, 100 now.
Mechanically, the issue here is that your counting would have included the fifth. We didn't know if the player was going to be here, so the 125 was, in theory, therefore you were actually planning on the paladin. So as you walk back in, you see him vanish. He's scribbling on the piece of paper. He's counting out gold arrowheads.
Which I just gave you 100. So go ahead and add that to your character sheet. 100 gold arrowheads.
So I finished transcribing and
Well, you finished the you finished the first one.
and then I'm
Yeah,
starting.
now you're starting the second one.
Arrowheads, not arrows. Keep
I mean, in all realness, I'd probably stop as soon as Lucius disappeared. So.
Fair enough. So you're only halfway done.
Yeah.
So half of his.
He's literally done half.
So he's
of
got
the
one
symbol.
paper.
Yep, he's got one page done.
Paladin.
Here you go.
Paladin. What's his name?
I don't remember. Do you ever?
Eggleth. Yeah.
Eglith. Eglith.
Come on, you know Eglith. He's been here since the beginning.
Yeah.
And don't. Hey guys, don't fight over him. In other words, let go my Eggleth.
Do you have any? So this is some
Excellent.
abyssal language. Can you lend any of your expertise? Do you have any skills to help us identify what just happened?
Perhaps you have some divine sense or something that can help guide us.
Well, divine sense only detects whether or not there's something wrong here, right? We already determined that it's not.
Top.
You're trying to use it the way it's not used. You're the one who pointed it out to me.
Yeah, but how do you
I know.
pronounce
Oh,
Perfectly
Tay.
fine.
Tay? For the H with no
Kern
T.
doesn't know that.
That's true. So what languages do you know?
Oh, I know common, and I still have one to look up. I haven't put another one down.
He has one free empty
Yes.
slot that he can fill in because character creation.
If you want to read this, therefore you could write down right now abyssal and know the language. It means you know
I
the
have a
language of.
question. How many languages are you allowed?
So long as you can keep learning all of them,
Oh, but you have to. keep
you have to
on
learn them.
learning.
Just abyssal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
abyssal in the language area.
Yeah, just by knowing the language well enough, you're able to determine. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Oh, okay.
What was that?
I need a roll.
I'm just trying.
Oh, you need dice? Here, give me a second. I'll get you some dice for the day. D20, D12,
Should give
D10s,
Eight.
D8.
4 and some
Seven.
sixes. Sevens I didn't get.
I have one
That's
of those.
seven. That's
4.
D7.
I have D7s. I also have a D20. I have a D14 and a.
I have a D6.
So whenever you make a check,
Two
you always roll the
D16.
D20.
They're weird.
Oh.
Oh,
What?
He goes, yeah, I can see exactly what it says, and he vanishes as well.
No. It says that.
Hey.
He actually reads it. He goes, I love He's gone.
Oh jeez.
Was that is a what or is it not?
Do Jesus.
No, he had nothing to do with this.
I mean Jesus.
No,
I mean,
Javis.
Jeebus.
Jeebus.
Holy zombie Jesus.
Please don't take me. I don't even believe in Jeebus.
What are we gonna do, guys?
Did anyone hear what he said?
I mean, I was standing right next to him, so I can try to say it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it would be interesting to see what happens.
Well, what did he say, Mr. Split Chin? I don't know it's split. I just have the scar.
He has like a star right here.
Oh yeah, so yeah. So
He
do
cut
I
himself
just
while shaving.
You just go over and you look at it, and as you look at it, remembering what little you remember of what he said,
And what
make
he
your
said.
make your intelligence.
So you've got two people who said it. So
do you guys want to grab onto my shoulders?
The advantage here is because it's now two attempts later, you get advantage on your saving throw.
Okay.
So you have to mess up twice.
I'm good. 20.
Okay.
Not
He goes, yeah, I can't read it.
nat.
I'll try. One of my languages.
Oh, Temple of Procon, please.
Can I try to speak in Yarlim and call Bob?
Rob.
Bob, and see if calling him and summoning him back to this dimension brings them back too, or through the portal brings him back too. Because I'm assuming they're like.
You can attempt to.
I have an 18.
Yep, you made it.
Nothing
So
happens.
nothing happens. You can call. You can speak Yarlim anytime you want.
So let's see who does what now.
Well, none of us are doing anything, so like.
Well, you can. Yeah, you guys can
Finish tracing it.
finish. Yeah, there.
Okay.
She's on it. She's going. Yeah, let's finish this. We need to
Okay.
at least finish that part.
Okay?
I'm finishing it.
Their bones will rest above.
Okay. While you're doing that, your first instinct upon completing it is that you need to immediately hold your breath because you feel like you're drowning. You just no. This is both of you, but instantaneously
Yeah.
separated. But it's the same effect.
Yeah.
Then you realize what it is. You're actually in like standing in a waterfall. So it's that waterboarding experience. There's no place for air to get. There's nowhere for water to get in because it's falling past you. But you also psychologically don't want to breathe, even though there's a
Some
place underneath your
pockets.
nose to get air. So that you realize you're in a very, very wet place. Looking out past the waterfall, you see the looming hull of a very ancient-looking vessel, coated with barnacles and other forms of sea life, encrusting the bottom of the vessel.
Think
Its
of a black
keel,
pearl.
its keel
With a
seeming to be buried
big
in the
ship.
very soft soil of the bottom. Laying around the bottom are the skeletons and partially digested, partially chewed, I guess, corpses of a bunch of fish, indicating there's some predator out there beyond the waterfall. It's kind of odd that you're still feeling the waterfall effect. And you realize you can actually put your hand over your nose and then block to give yourself air, because there's enough air in the area that you just have to do is avoid the water that's falling, because the water that's falling is passing out into the lagoon beyond.
Is this outside?
Well,
Or
there's a shady, gloomy ambient light. Definitely makes you feel like you must be back outside.
Okay.
But you definitely don't feel that you're where you were.
Mhm.
Furthermore, there are slither tracks, movement tracks across the bottoms, indicating that more than likely Bob has traveled out across that expanse, and there's a shadow of some amorphous shape under directly under
Ship.
this would be the starboard side of the vessel. So the ship is facing to your
On the shadow
right.
side, I bet.
Yeah.
Shadows and shadows.
There's like predator.
Okay, and as you're standing there, you feel his presence beside you. He's coughing and gasping as well.
Okay.
So you can tap him and show him the thing that you're doing to give yourself some breathing space.
Mind throw this one behind you?
Alright.
And you're literally standing, if you
Thank
will, in an archway. There is you feel the empty space behind you, just kind of like you would if you were standing in an archway. You instinctively know there must be room behind you to step. But you do still feel the mystical energy of the archway around you. You realize that the portal you went through was this direction, but the portal you're coming out of is this direction. So it's like as you read it, you felt like you were falling forward, but you fell forward standing up. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very trippy feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
And you are really offended. You're not sure whether you've been drawn to another realm. Whatever this, you're definitely distinctly not cool with this.
Alright, I'm just gonna grab him, and we're just gonna move away from whatever this.
So fall backward into the darkness,
No, forward.
into the water.
Okay. So are we submerged?
Partially.
The archway is
Okay.
completely underwater,
Oh.
but the water you're
Okay.
literally standing so that your face is in the field of water. That's why water's flowing
I
past
see.
you.
Okay.
I have to back up.
That's really just. I
Instinctively.
see. Okay.
Okay. So instinctively you back up, and when you do, you see another arch on this one, but the emblems are now backwards.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh,
was pretty funny.
no.
That was pretty funny.
And someone fell forward, apparently.
I just face palmed for all of us.
Exactly.
No. Meta? I gave you stuff last week.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I just have one bottle.
I gave you 2, remember? I gave everybody 2. I bought 10.
Oh, hey, and Harvey Jacksonville is with us. Everybody say hi, Harvey.
Hey, Harvey.
So the ship, from what I can see, it's in front of me.
Yes, it's about
Okay.
it's about 60. Well, it's harder to gauge things underwater, but it's like it's probably 60 to 80 feet ahead of you. Be 2 rounds of swimming underwater to get to it.
That will help you. What you need to do is get to the surface.
The surface is about 40 feet up.
Not gonna make it up there.
Sure you can. 40
yeah.
feet?
40 feet
you
is
can
a
hold
lot
your-
shorter than
What?
60.
Half plate.
One,
Well, you leave
2 rounds.
Take the armor off. He says, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to make it."
Actually, half plate takes 5 minutes to take off completely.
Well, he has assistance, but then again, the paladin also has armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the paladin's in chainmail.
And both of you go, "Yeah, we're not taking off the armor."
Time to pick our death
instinctively,
position.
I'm just gonna move back,
Okay, so you
back towards the archway.
right. So
I'm
when you
pulling
that's what I
in.
said. So when you grab
Yeah.
the paladin, you pull back. You see the archway, but also it's in mirror. So literally, the sounds you would make to have made the words you can't make. You can't actually read them anymore because you'd have to be facing from
other
the water
way.
side. If you think about it, the arch is
Okay.
the arch is on something underwater. The space that you're standing in is about a 10-foot by 10-foot gap. There is a small stone ring in the center. Looks like somebody had used it for a campfire at some point in the past. And on the walls are emblems and etchings that are pictographs at best. It looks like images of stick figures and other odd-looking stick figures with circles around their heads. The first thing you think of when you see them is the Nasa dudes.
What are those?
Nassau?
NASA?
Okay.
The others.
Yeah.
You got one right there, just looming behind your DM.
Yeah. Okay.
He was lumined, now he's illumined. So if you've seen those drawings in Africa that are kind of like that, where they've got regular folks on one side of the river, there's a little emblem that indicates a river, and the other side are these things. Indicating this has happened before.
Where are we? We're just in the cave. Or are we
So
like in the
it's kind of
archway?
like a.
It's an alcove is the best thing to call it. It's a place where there is air, like a cavern underneath the water. That's the water is being kept out by an archway portal. You can see through the portal to see the boat and to see the surface, but the space you're in is just a 10-foot by 10-foot cavern. There does appear to be a narrow passageway leading out the back, but it's about 3 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. So you would have to crawl on your hands and knees through it.
Well, I only have 2 potions of water breathing.
But each one lasts an hour.
I took some of those stones so we could put them together and like toss them in. Like if we could.
Which
To
one?
The
look
Graveling. He's got Graveling.
Yeah, 'cause I don't want to crawl in it, just crawl
Oh
in
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
want to
So
see something.
yeah, okay. So you want to take the narrow path?
Kind of.
That or go swimming
Yeah.
in armor.
Take off all that
Now
armor.
theoretically, you could walk over to the vessel, and because of the barnacles and neutral buoyancy, because although you are in armor, you also have muscles, so you could actually technically climb the bottom of the boat if you wanted to climb to the surface. Now, here's the fun: the amount of time you can actually hold your breath is actually quite astounding in D&D 5th edition. I think it's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes.
It's a minute plus a number of turns equal to your Constitution modifier. Something like that.
something like that. It's a goodly amount of time actually.
Mhm.
So you could technically hyperventilate, take in a big breath, slog across the bottom, climb the ship, and theoretically,
the
hopefully, make it to the surface before.
Okay.
So it can be done, but that also doesn't indicate what that shadow object is, nor the predators that might be in the water.
Can we do like a check to see like if it's
There's
evil or
a-
something?
What's that?
Like the check, the area for like evil because I'm a paladin.
Oh, okay. So you're going to turn on. Yeah, you're going to
To see if there's
activate
anything
divine
around
sense.
us.
Okay, there is an abyssal creature that gives range. You said
What gives range?
divine sense.
Divine Sense has a range of 60 feet.
Okay, so within 60 feet of you, there is an abyssal being. More than likely, given the fact that you were just in his presence just a while ago, more than likely it's bulb.
Can I tell its size by what I just did, or I have
Doesn't
to
give
see it
size.
myself?
All it does is gives you that there is one, and it doesn't give you direction or anything. It just says there's one within 60 feet of you. But the bottom of the boat is within 60 feet, so.
What do you want to do?
Does that path, does it go, from what I can see, does it go down or does it go up
You
or
can't
it's just
tell.
black?
It's just darkness. He's got the gravelings, so you could actually
Yeah.
bundle the gravelings, and
Throw it.
you don't even have to just put them in your hand, and they act like a light torch, and they don't burn you with only a few of them. It's only when you have a large number that they actually fire. It causes fire. So you could actually just throw 3 or 4 of them in your hand and
Well,
crawl
let's
if you
do it.
want. For that matter, you
Yeah.
could just use it to light up the area. So when you light it up, you see part of the shadowed image that you saw before. Definitely is an octopus that is slowly climbing the bottom of the vessel towards the surface. But the brilliance of the light does also bring the attention of something dark and gray with a white belly. And it passes by within a few feet of you. There's basically a man-eating sized great white shark.
Yeah, definitely not going that way. I think we should take our chances.
Well, given monsters, you actually shot at Shubnigaroth, so shooting at a shark shouldn't be a big problem.
Not underwater.
No. Well, okay, but a crossbow is really not much different than a
harpoon.
harpoon gun, and you're inside of a safe spot. The shark can't get to you theoretically from here.
He's a piggy.
I was gonna read a visual and go through the portal. But that would be nice to find out. If it could get in and go through. And then we get to be faced with a shark
That'd be fun.
and no tank.
Just flopping around.
So we could try to get back through the portal.
I kind of want to.
To get back, try to go back through the portal. Do we have to step out?
Okay, so here are the mechanics. If you drink a potion of water breathing, when you step into the water, you breathe like normal. So theoretically, if that writing is on the outside of the portal as well, you should theoretically be able to step out into the water, read the portal, and come back through it. Because you'll be able to speak as normal because of the water breathing. Without the water breathing, if you step outside and try to read it, it will sound something like this. And it won't work. So it won't trigger the effect.
Alright.
I've given you guys enough options.
Yeah.
You guys have been there. He's finished the second drawing. That stalled out to give you guys some time to think, and I gave their encounter's going to take some time. So, what do you guys? What's the plan?
Well,
Now that you finished the drawing,
Finish the drawing.
We
he's
did.
finished
We're
it.
like, how?
Okay.
Well, her and I have
how-
already
how
kind
were you able
of
to-
tried to read it. We can't.
Did you shoot it?
Right.
Yeah, so just
So, I mean,
can't
You wanna try?
hurt himself.
I don't have it being
Fern?
I know.
Yes.
Would you like to
He
try?
hurt himself, or one of them.
Oh, John.
I just take one look. I don't speak Abyssal.
yeah,
Yeah. Not doing it.
yeah,
No, no.
If we try to go outside.
yeah. I mean,
Rub-a-dub-dub,
so we can
no
get
thanks.
outside.
do we have anybody on the
If we, yeah, get
Didn't bring anybody with you.
and then
no, but on the
drink
I'm not forgetting
water,
the name of
breathe
it.
in.
Comprehend
saddle.
my
Oh,
movement
saddle.
The
alone.
saddle's
And
out
then
at
try to
sea.
get back to the portal.
You got that last week? Did you?
Uh,
Yeah, but we saw it too.
And there's crocodiles down by the dinghy.
We could try to.
do you want to try to make it towards
Yeah.
the?
Quit playing with your
So-
dinghy.
You guys want to just try to make it out towards the
You gotta load the crate sometime.
Because you don't have.
You gotta load them into the dinghy.
No, put them on the dinghy and then go out to the larger skiff area and see if we can break that loose. Use it as like,
Something in water.
because the skiff would be wider, it'd be easier to transport stuff.
That octopus.
And then that way, what we can do is take the skiff and leave the dinghy for them if they somehow manage to.
Because
Because
it only
Good
gets
point.
hurt by a magical weapon.
That's rational.
Except for I have a
He's
couple
being awfully rational.
problem with
Must not have enough alcohol.
Oh, let me,
Exactly.
wait a moment. Let me see if I can write a
I'm not
note and leave
cursed
a note.
because I have an attuned.
We left you.
Attuned is like you
Yeah.
You know,
Actually, you wrote
trade
it.
up on with
We
the-
left you, and on the backside you wrote the
42.
dinghy, and then they just flip it over and just,
On-
you left us.
So I want to use it.
No.
no. He puts it face down, so it just goes the dinghy.
We left
And then
it
of
at
course, you know, when
dinghy
you're underwater,
to go
you
back
try
to the
do
ship.
this, you're
We
like,
took the skiff
so we might have disadvantage.
and took the
Not as hard.
Loop.
balloon.
Yeah, so we gotta figure out if the
So this
skiff
place
is.
is technically a bar, right?
It is a bar.
Is there any alcohol?
There is
So
There is
I
none.
can cover
It's dry.
myself.
You know, this seems very stressful. Maybe you should.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Are you sure you're not?
Nice. You're
Having
doing
a
you're
hard
doing the
time?
Jack Nicholson. You're going over talking to the ghost behind the bar. Give me a drink.
Remember, I tried to ask the priests for some alcohol when I was picking up those potions, and they
Yeah,
didn't
no.
brew anything.
That'd be funny because it'll be on.
Well, you
time.
asked for sacred wine. That was a
There's
bit much.
difference.
A bit much there.
Remember when you got drunk on sacramental wine?
Hey man.
Wow, is that really the blood of Christ? Man, that guy must have been loaded 24/7.
So yeah, do we what? Just let's
Just hold it in a hand. But I want to check.
the three of us
some
just hop in the
before
dinghy and see if we.
Well, so you're gonna go down. You see the crocodiles
Just
swimming
imagine,
around.
like,
Can you do the orb thing again?
it's only-
That like distracted them last time. Remember when you sent your purple orb out and they were attacking the light for a while?
Dancing lights.
I can try, but crocodiles are very smart and wily. They might have gotten wise to it.
But we're not trying to make noise. We're just trying to row the dinghy over to the skiff and see if we can loosen it up.
Yes, and all I'm saying is they're very smart, so they might. It might not take. That's the only warning I
Well,
can
no.
give.
For clarification, going out the back door of the revolt, you could actually go overland to where the skiff is.
Oh, okay.
No, this is like I said, marshy. Everything is like little bitty islands.
Okay, so we don't have to row there.
No, you could leave the dinghy exactly where it is and
Oh,
just
okay.
carry the cargo down and carry it
Oh, I
overland.
thought we had to row over.
You don't.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, perfect. You want to form the little tossing line and start carrying crates over to the skiff?
Well, it's only 2 crates, and you divided up one of them. So the other one's the gray wings.
So we load stuff on the skiff. I try to loosen the kelp that's
Okay.
tied to
So when you get over there,
That's what I wanted to do.
the skiff, there are 2 poles for the skiff inside the skiff.
That's yours right now. That's yours right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of the former owners is also in the skiff, prone, mostly skeletal, but there's still some flesh hanging off of it. And it was a while ago that he died, so it's kind of a blackish. The flesh is kind of a blackish color, and the bones are kind of slimy from the different forms of protozoa that live in the swamp here.
Pick it up with a stick
Fling it overboard.
and fling it overboard.
There's a bit of a splash, and crocs start moving towards you.
Have that the dead body cross.
So they form drifts across the water, and as it drifts across the water, you see a bit of shine on its hip. It had a belt on, and then apparently, as the body turned in the water, it revealed a glistening, golden-looking buckle.
Made a mistake.
I might have made a mistake.
Yeah,
He
as the body
says.
goes drifting away. Oh, I might have made a mistake.
Oh, I have my like shuriken rope that I made earlier. That I tied the dagger to the end of my
So
rope.
you're gonna now try to
I'm gonna try to
harpoon
just trying to reel it in real quick because I'm greedy.
harpoon the
your
dead
bait.
and decaying body.
Yes.
Your bait. You're trying to harpoon your bait.
Roll to hit.
What
The
do
other 2 of you have navigated down and gotten the crate on board.
So I don't add anything to that, right? Or do
You
I?
add your dexterity and proficiency bonus.
Since you are using you
Well,
have
actually, since it's improvised, does
it's
he?
improvised, so it'd be
So
a-
no
no
proficiency.
proficiency bonus.
Because you actually need a skill to get improvised weaponry.
So nothing.
Just your dex.
Oh, my dex modifier.
Yep.
So that is going to be a 13.
13. You managed to hit the body and it kind of disintegrates. I already told you it was in bad shape, and so you see the belt buckle and basically the midriff the hips of the creature slowly spiral down into the darkness.
Should have investigated before I tossed it out. I just tried to make sure Kern didn't see me lose gold.
I just imagine Kern's over there
Just-
holding part of the crate
just
and just
so-
shaking head.
Just so embarrassed at what I've done, losing gold. Okay, well then I just release the rope because I don't want the Crocs trying to.
Do you release the rope so you don't have the rope anymore?
No, I mean
No.
I released the shuriken part of it, like the.
Well, you didn't have to. You just drag it back.
Oh, drag it back.
It just broke up the body. So
Oh,
you
okay,
just
I thought part of got stuck.
no.
I just whispered to him, "You let them
Okay,
now
what-
down."
What did you guys decide?
Damn it! Always investigate
So
bodies.
one of
Roll
us
for future.
are gonna take out a
Don't always
dagger,
investigate bodies.
make
whatever
a
you want.
slice on the hand,
You're going to cut your own hand.
just a little bit
Here's a
enough
little
for
unspoken
clean
rule.
blood,
If
and
you don't
kind of put it in the
investigate,
water.
There will
to
be
trap
some.
the shark.
If you
Okay.
investigate, there will
And
be
then I'm the only one with the range
So it's
weapon,
pretty
and
much
I'm gonna
just
shoot at
if
it.
you find out
Okay.
that there's something you
Draw
do
extension
not
and
And
try to
then
shoot it.
if we
See
kill
what you
it
can
and
do.
everything's
Yeah.
good,
You
we're
tried
gonna go
to do
ahead
what you
and
could
take
do, and
water
that's all you
breathing
could
and
do.
try to reverse
Besides
it.
Go ahead.
hold it
Roll
up,
to hit
it's not
with
like
your
we're gonna put a name on
crossbow.
it or something.
Because the shark is definitely turning towards the chummy, the flashy,
The shark?
the frothing. Yes, the frothing
They
water.
got a shark.
22.
Ace.
Oh, you hit it.
Hit.
Six.
Once
A
we're done
palpable
loading it
blow.
up into the dinghy, I might try
Six.
something.
6. Yeah, it's now turning and charging.
Through the water.
Yes, through the water. Its tail whips it whips around in direction, and this is when you see the shadows of several others in the waters beyond. Because sharks, unlike other things, are fish, so they do sort of travel in
No,
little
they're not
groups.
fish.
I know.
A chordata.
Yes. Anyway, it's now coming right at you.
I'm gonna step back as far back as I can against the wall and
Okay.
see if it's gonna actually go through the water.
Okay, it's aimed right at you. As this is hysterical. This
Oh,
is so
no.
funny. As you guys have now loaded stuff onto the
I was going to try one thing when we were all done.
what's that?
I was going to see if
Okay.
I could figure out the words, but I'll wait until whatever else is done. If something else is going on.
Yeah, because we were busy.
I'll put
If he's going after you.
Well,
yeah,
were you
I'll
going to
go
do it
crossbow and stand behind.
during the transition of the treasure, or are you going all the way back up there to do it?
Yeah, I only have
I was
one
going to do
here.
it after
Yeah,
the treasure was
pretty
put onto the dinghy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made it all the way to the bottom, and we're turning back to do that.
Yes.
When there's a horrible crashing sound. Now, the shark hits the thing at about, probably close to 30 knots underwater. It's at basically in full charge, its big mouth open. You guys hear crashing because it goes sliding across the deck to the weak spot on the floor and falls out the other side.
So all of a sudden, the
So-
the uplifted bar just defecates a shark.
Well, there's this. Yeah, it actually shudders because 1,000 pounds of fish chordata slams into it, slides and slivers itself, and then falls out through the other side.
Due to its massive size, do the anchors catch it?
No, because remember the anchors were on the side he fell.
Yeah,
Yes, but because of its massive size, because a shark is much bigger than him. That's
Yes,
the
but
only
at
reason
this
I
point
asked.
it's more like a missile because it's going to come down.
I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, and it's going to come down the other side. But the thing is that it shook the structure so badly that
Didn't
actually
it come up out of the floor this way?
no, it was going laterally. Anyway, it comes out of the hole this way and falls,
Flop.
Okay.
and still has
What
enough
the-
velocity.
Ah, what the hell is that?
And all we see is like,
It's
whoa.
a shark.
It was already ready
Haven't
with the
you
shield.
seen
Right.
one before?
And then
I'm
I'm
like,
like
Lucius?
this, and then it just
It just literally.
disappeared.
It's like looking at the
I've never seen
what do they
one.
call it, the
Apparently the
MRI.
sharks can use gate.
Okay, yeah. So you see the
So,
dissection.
yeah, the shark goes through the portal.
I try to communicate not knowing that if this shark is one of my transformed party members.
You're going, Lucius, is it you?
No,
Egglet? It's big enough, could be Egglet.
Yeah.
Egglet?
Walking around.
no, it's a shark. Haven't you seen one before?
Which
He
indicates
just spoke
that
to
the
a
portal
sea thingy
doesn't
that
need the words to be
talked
said
in
from
bubbles.
this side.
And
Anything can happen.
Anyway, so
Yeah,
you,
anything. It could
the
not
thing
be
is
good.
that when it fell, because it was going at that velocity, when it falls, it actually shivers the supports. Although they had shored it up, we did find that the building was pretty close to rickety anyway. And so as you see the shark fall through the hole on the other side, not 2 or 3 seconds later, the whole place will will
Start
shake
collapsing.
and start to collapse in a spiral formation as it falls down around the parts that are still good. So there's like a little. I'd say cloud of dust was really more of a splash as the thing goes down, and there's a second of hesitation as the crocodile are like registering what just happened, and they all turn back on the ruins. So
Not the shark.
yeah,
They
Dude,
ignore the
this is
shark.
like
no, they're going after the shark.
no, this is an
They're going
epic,
after the ruins of
Oh,
the
yeah.
this is an epic animal battle.
yeah.
It's called the food chain.
Yeah, but except it's a great white in sort of pseudo fresh water and not enough of it
Yeah.
to breathe against a whole group of crocodile. I think, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna score some hits.
So
Oh, yeah.
can we check to see? So
But more importantly, the gateway is gone.
that's what I'm saying. So so I'm assuming we at this point have identified that stuff would come back. So can I do like an insight check to see if I understood that gateway represented like a two-way?
Well, that's kind of
So,
obvious.
yeah, so it's
Yeah,
obvious.
there's a way for it to come back. But more importantly, even as you remember that, it can't be there anymore because there's no wood, no floor.
So knowing that,
We don't have a copy of the gate. Oh wait.
no, that's what I'm saying. Knowing that, and knowing that they could get back through it on the bottom of the skip with one of the arrowheads, I start carving.
With the airhead, you're now gonna carve.
Well, I don't
An
have
Through your-
opening.
Okay, to do that, you have to put both copies down, and you will destroy them in the process.
guys had to go through
Yeah.
I was just
You got
trying to
two
read
copies.
it.
No, but even you have copies.
We're trying
Yeah.
to investigate.
So he just needs to copy the copies.
find the source.
so we
of
take the
corruption
time.
and-
So
So just take, yeah, I'll take the time.
take
the
extra time. Okay.
Take the time to make two
I'm
copies.
really hoping, like in my head, because I'm just like frantic at this point,
Okay,
like
so
they're not.
that
fighting
shark is
another
gone. The other sharks now you realize that was kind of like the alpha among them. The others are smaller. There's even some babies and whatnot, and a whole lot of pilot fish.
Did you
and
say
things
they were
like that
baby
over there.
sharks?
They're swinging.
And mama sharks. I knew he was gonna do that.
Kern's about to sneak attack you.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and
Go with plan B then,
jump into the water.
or plan A.
Yeah, hold our breath and then
Description, so I need you to let me
go
get a
the
copy.
other way and work out.
Alrighty, this is gonna be
Like
fun.
Rain Manning.
Go
ahead and,
one hand and the other
Let's
way.
determine how much time you have breathing wise. 60 seconds plus, I think it's 4 times, or what is it?
I wasn't able to find the full rules, but if I
The
remember correctly,
con,
it was a
usually it's
turn.
your con modifier.
It's supposed to be your con modifier in turns extra after a minute, I think.
So 1 minute plus.
Plus one per con.
Well, one
which,
time I'll actually have to open this book.
Suffocating. Creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal
There.
to 1 plus its constitution modifier.
Okay, there we go.
1 plus its con
Minimum
modifier.
of 30 seconds.
So number of turns equal to 1 plus its con modifier.
In
Or
tens of
minutes.
seconds. 1 minute plus 10 seconds per
There we go.
Per con.
con. So what's your con? What's your constitution modifier?
Plus 1.
Plus one.
So you both have 70 seconds. So you pass out.
So that is.
You pass out through it. And you go, okay, this will be cool. We
11
can swim right back
turns.
through.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't use the water breathing.
No.
So now you're underwater. Everything is soaked. So just be aware that if you had anything that was destructible by water, it's now destroyed. So if there's anything that you have, like written documents, things like that,
Use this inscription.
You can do that.
you pass through.
After you make a copy.
You're now in the water with the sharks and the shadowy object and the
both
boat.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
To emulate our time, since we're talking about the parallax, we'll use this as a backup. If nothing else happens, when this runs out, you run out of air. That's a lot of time. I'm really being generous. So we have a lot of time to. It is moving. It is moving. Don't need to help it.
No, just showing its glass.
All right.
Sand, glass, or brass. Nobody dies for free.
So now you're in the water. The emblem is on the wall, just like you anticipated, kind of glowing with a pale greenish light. But the circle is stone, just like the one before was wood. So not a big deal. Except now you're going to now swim through it. And with your first action, which is your first 6 seconds, you slam into the stone wall. The sharks start to move towards you. There are 6 adults and 4 young. And the octopus-like form climbing the side of the vessel shifts color so that for half a second you see Bob kind of as a red octopus, just for a few seconds. And then he fades back to the... It's almost like he's helping you to know that he's there. What is your action for round 2?
I'll go ahead and look into my pack, grab the potion of water breathing.
You are underwater.
Yeah.
If you uncork the potion,
Well, real quick,
you can't create vacuum.
Well, I'll lose some of it, right? That's true.
No.
Okay. No. Okay.
It's a liquid and
Yeah,
you're
it's-
underwater. When
Yeah,
you
I got
uncap it, it's going to immediately start diluting immediately.
Look at my new character.
He's already...
Go back
epic fail.
inside the.
He can't!
We're trapped outside.
Once
And
they
we're
pass
full-
through,
and
because
we're
the
full of
portal...
armor.
Because the portal's destroyed at the other end, when they go through, there's no place for them to go.
I'm just gonna say, on a
Not
meta,
even the alcove?
The alcove only exists in the reality of where the gate was built.
oh,
Once they cross the plane,
How
For a
big's the-
minute, we're panicking.
How big's the cork?
I don't know.
That's a question to ask.
how big is what?
The cork on the bottle.
There's no way to take
He's
in the
going
water.
for a pun. He's making a pun.
No. I'm actually being serious.
Oh, cork on the bottle of his drink.
of the
It's
potion.
standard cork size.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no.
No, they're
I
all
think
Yeah,
I
made.
you
have
guessed
for the
it. We're
ship.
holding our breath, and if you put something in your mouth and you're trying to drink it, you're suffocating yourself.
Because you have to have the air to breathe to be able to blow into it.
Yeah. I've actually I know a trick. I know a trick.
Oh, I see. But if the cork is an inch long, it's almost
Yeah,
impossible.
the question is, can you fit the whole cork in your mouth
Inside
with
your
enough
mouth at the
space
same
to
time.
blow? Because when you unstopper it, you have plenty of air in your lungs. You just have to exhale. That forces air to go into the potion bottle
I
and
see what
drain.
you're
You
saying.
drink.
I see
So
what
it
you're saying.
never comes to contact. It's just gonna hurt like fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
And so the only reason I said how big's the cork is it needs to fit in your mouth, and at the exact same time, you need to not swallow it.
Or try to swallow it and gag and die.
Yeah.
Or you do have 70 seconds. 69 seconds to cross the bottom and start climbing the. I'm sorry, it'd be 64
seconds.
64 seconds.
Just keep going.
Get started.
So,
So-
you're just gonna pretty much grab me
So can I,
and just start walking.
on our side of things,
Right.
can we say I've completed? No.
No.
How long are we
Waste
saying
that
that's gonna
potion.
take?
Well,
Water
it's
breathing.
considering that
Well,
it's
we're
about
gonna
this
run
big
less than
around,
seconds, or whatever.
it's going to take you probably a good
15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes to draw
Can
the thing.
I?
To make a duplicate, because you're making a duplicate
But
first.
can I check first
You're holding
to
your
see if
breath.
just overlaying
Yeah,
them?
if you blow
It
it
does.
For size?
In your mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
and
put
it
on-
But
If
without
I
eviscerate,
come back
you're
in,
saying
yeah.
that if I overlay
Just
them
what
with
did
We'll
you
do
full
check?
that at
size
the last
to
minute.
create this
But
to
for
create
now,
the
we're
portal
gonna-
just out of paper.
Right.
That would eviscerate it. That would destroy my copies.
No, laying them across wouldn't. Trying to utilize them would.
Oh, gotcha.
What I was saying is that if you were going to etch the symbol into the floor, you would destroy your copy. Both of them. Because you have to use both images to know where to carve.
But what if I just overlaid them? Would that not?
You have a paper copy.
And would that do anything?
It could potentially
You want to
destroy it.
try?
Damn it. I think
You died twice.
I know.
You'd have to make a total other double copy.
I think.
You need to make a total other double copy if you wanted to be able to test it without destroying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, if we're assuming that I'm just kind
You
of.
have no idea what's going on.
No,
in
but I
this
saw a shark come out of this thing.
thing. There is that.
So it's like there is some relevancy.
There
Like
is
there might be danger
danger
on the
over
other
there.
side of this.
Are the crocs still swarming around the?
Oh, the storm. There's a fight going on right now.
Yeah,
over
I'm
there.
making the decision. Like, I would love to keep this thing, but I just saw a 1,000-pound shark come out of it, so I just overlay them and lay it on the deck of the skiff.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
None of that. What is that? The modifier for that?
Well, do you have Arcana?
I no. I don't think. I mean,
No.
Okay, with no Arcana, it's straight intelligence.
Okay. 8.
Yeah, you can't quite get him to line up
Okay.
effectively because you're the water. Even though you're on a relatively skiffs are relatively stable, it still rocks a little bit, so it's a little hard to hold the two of them exactly together.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna get back to copying because
Here,
It's
give
better
me
than
give
nothing.
me one sheet.
there's one sheet.
Now let's both of us do the forgery and make one sheet each.
Okay, that's fine.
At least then the time will be half.
Okay,
I'll use dancing lights to produce some light so that we can
so
possibly get advantage on
seven
time.
and a half minutes. That'll only be about 6.5 minutes after they're dead.
Okay, in meta, we know what's going on. In character,
Yeah.
we
We
don't,
don't.
know what's
Right.
going on.
You
So
gotta
we're
do
not
what you-
under a time
No,
constraint.
I'm not
No.
going under the. I'm going under the fact that I saw the shark. come
Right. No,
out.
I got you. I'm totally,
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
totally with
knowing
you.
anything
You're
yet.
trying to save them. You're trying to make it so they can at least get back if they need to, because there is no portal right now. All right. So what did you decide?
So yes, we'll take the time to.
We're,
We'll take the time.
he's just gonna pull me,
Again, in meta, we
and we're just gonna start
both are in
walking.
trouble.
Towards the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
See.
We know the shark's running away from them. And at least this way does take 15 minutes of it.
And then I kind of like, oh yeah, Lucius would have shot at something like that already. So I mean, probably the shark.
Oh,
would-
that's it. That's the one thing you would have noticed. Thank you for noticing. There's a crossbow in
That's
it.
true.
There's a
a
bolt
bolt.
in it. And it's
See,
in the
it was
side.
running away.
This shark was just eating and got shot in the back by Lucius.
No, not in the back. In its torque.
In its-
In one of its anterior fins.
Okay, so front facing. So okay,
You got under a shark to shoot it?
that's great.
He was like nose on with it as he shot at it. That's very funny.
Now, is that the one that was a failure?
Yeah. This one's failure.
Oh, the handle broke.
The handle broke off originally, so we canceled it. I'm seeing if I could possibly fuse the top over so I can basically use it as a dice bowl or just like a decorative piece.
I just chisel that off, make it sand it smooth.
That's
put
what I was-
green in it.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna do. So I'm just looking into it right now.
Well, if
'cause-
upside down, it's a bongo drum.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so
unfortunately, no bards here.
My constitution sucks. It says right here, after I suffocate,
Uh huh.
I have an extra 1 round because it depends on the modifier.
Right.
But after that, I drop to 0 and dying. Can't regain hit points or survives until it can breathe again.
Yes. Okay. So, we let that keep ringing, but let's go. Okay. So we're now walking across the bottom. So the first round of walking across the bottom, the shark school, if you will, turns and starts in your direction. They're only tangentially noticing because you didn't put that much blood in the water, except that you now brought your bleeding hand into the water with you. So now it's increasing the amount of blood in the water.
Wait, he cut his hand too, or?
No,
No, when you cut your hand,
Oh, okay.
one of us.
Oh.
but then you came out here in the water, so the open wound is now
You
bleeding
didn't heal
openly into the
yourself.
water.
Oh, hold on.
I don't have anything.
I have a blanket, a winter blanket, and since like it doesn't matter.
You can actually lay on hands. You're a paladin. You can actually give yourself back the hit points so that you don't
Up
actually
to
bleed anymore.
5 times your level.
You would have would have been aware of
It's a
that
pool,
because
so you
bringing
can
the
choose
blood
any
into the
number.
water. So any number up to 5 at
Times
per
your
level.
level.
So
Your
you have-
paladin level. So if you're level 2 paladin, you have 10 points that you could choose to do anywhere from 1 to 10 to a target as a full action.
So just give yourself the one that you did when you bled yourself in the first place. That way you're not still drawing them to you. But they are moving towards you inquisitively.
Punch him in the nose.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to tell a quick shark hunting joke. So
Gonna need a bigger boat.
No, this gentleman wants to go swim with sharks, and his buddy says, "Well, you need to know how to protect yourself. If a shark comes at you, their noses are very sensitive. So all you do is just slug them real hard between the eyes. And if you use a flashlight in the water, you can see their eyes, and you can just punch right between them, and you'll be fine." Next day, he finds his friend in traction in the hospital. He goes, "Good Lord, what happened?" He says, "Well, I went out like you said." He says, "But now they're traveling in pairs, and each one's closing an eye." Anyway, so we're walking across the bottom. Go ahead and make a. Now, are you going to use? Let's see. You can't bonus action dash. So you could dash as your action. That would give you 60 feet across the water. Because you're slogging through mud, it would actually be 30 feet. That'll get you halfway across. But that's if all you're doing is just going as fast as you can to get across the water.
Run as fast as you can. Can't catch him.
I think we're.
How terrified are you of the sharks? If you're terrified of the sharks, you'll do everything you can to get as far as you
I
can
just
across
don't
the
want
water.
to die. So
Yeah.
I fear
They're
death
both-
more than I fear the shark.
Yeah.
Both in the I don't want to die moment. All right. So you're slogging across. You made it 30 feet. The one good news is that by slogging like that, you are throwing a huge amount of dirt,
Debris.
Oh, okay.
dead fish, and some tendrils of kelp.
Hey, look,
In
a
the
golden belt buckle.
Quiet, you.
Mary is praying for their souls.
Wherever they are, I hope they're okay.
I hope they find salvation on the dry land that they have teleported to. Obviously, they wouldn't have gone to the ocean. That's deadly.
The shark is
You
not
know
a
what? Even if
denizen of
that
the
shark
air.
came through, I'm super happy I gave him those potions of mouth breathing before.
I know,
Mouth
they should be
breathing?
fine.
Yeah, they should be fine.
Fish lips.
Fish lips. It's totally fine. You know, the shark came out, but they have those. So, I mean, like,
Potion of mouth to mouth, right?
yeah. They should be completely alright. I'm not that stressed out anymore.
They were near water, and they had the presence of mind to shoot the shark with a crossbow, which means he must have used the water breathing.
Because you need to breathe in order to do the crossbow bolt.
Oh, yeah.
I was all worried for nothing.
Let's just.
Forgery.
Okay, round 2, the first of the babies comes swimming by. He doesn't really try to bite you, but it's pretty curious. As it comes close to you, are you reacting to it, or are you just going to keep frothing across the bottom?
I'm just gonna keep on froth. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much thinking, oh, if we don't bother them, they won't bother us.
I have my shield up.
Okay.
I don't think you want to.
The heavy
Okay.
shield.
Realize walking with the shield up, you're pushing
Underwater.
That's awesome.
No, they're pure metal. It actually feels like it weighs more.
I know, unless he turns it sideways.
I'm like that.
You have
Well,
to turn it
no, I'm just
sideways.
talking about the
Yeah,
weight
I'm going sideways.
underwater.
I'm not going against him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're trying to cut through the water.
I can't lose.
Use
the
it as a
shield.
rudder. It helps guide you faster, so you only
You're
have
like,
to
shield
push.
on my back. I don't care. I'm still going. I can't lose the shield.
Can I drop things?
Yeah.
I'm dropping.
Backpack. You just cut the
Yeah,
backpack loose. Your belt loose.
Did you already give him the
Monster
arrowheads?
Hunter's pack is
No.
a
I was still divvying when he was messing
It's
dropping
gone.
that.
So I have 200 on me, one
That's-
for him.
Yeah, that's everything.
Because you gave.
I
him
gave
his
one to him though.
So his. Oh man.
There goes all my
great.
pouch
My
of salt.
rogue side is in pain.
No, I think you'll have plenty of
My
salt
money
left
sense
over
is
when
tingling.
this is done. I think you'll have your own box of salt here in a second. So,
I'm having a harrowing moment. Deep in my soul, it feels like 100 gold arrowheads have been silenced.
200.
Oh yeah.
I didn't give him the 100 yet because he was
Yeah,
messing
because-
when I was still
Oh,
divvying.
that's right.
I gave him the 100. I gave
Give
him
him
the
the
100 though because he disappeared right as I was
Right.
finishing.
All right. So you cut that stuff free. So what I will do is I'll give you an additional 10 feet of distance, which will make it to the bottom of the boat. So you're at the 70 feet at the end of round 2. Did you cut anything free, or are you still slogging? Because if you got the shield, you'll actually be dropping
So I'm gonna get jumped by the
with
sharks.
the shield in your hand. If you're using it defensively, which is what you suggested,
Yeah.
you'll actually be dropping 20 feet behind because the water resistance from the shield will decrease your forward movement.
Alright, so I stopped doing that.
Just turns it sideways and just start chugging. Okay.
I don't
So
have
you're
any
10
tools,
feet
though.
behind him when he hits the bottom of the boat. He starts to climb. The octopus has made it to the deck. You see the last of its tentacles being drawn up over the side. The mama sharks are now in the area, and let's see how aggressive they really are. One of them will make an attempt to nibble on you.
Toe.
On her attack, she makes a 17.
There was a ship from the
I have
beginning,
17.
For them.
So it hits
Yeah,
you.
they saw one they could climb. I think it's
Underneath?
it's not the
5
No,
points
it's
of
not the-
damage,
it's not the dinghy,
submersible.
blood
it's-
in the
it's-
water.
My question is just, is it a sunken ship?
No, it's not.
It's grounded.
Yeah, it's grounded.
That's grounded on
So it's not the
underwater?
submersible either. So
Right. It's grounded in shallower water. It's only 30 feet.
Yeah. No,
Guess we can continue.
So the keel is stuck in the mud.
No, the only
Yeah,
reason I ask is
we're
because
not
if it was
in the initiative,
underwater,
so
there's
you
a
can-
slim chance of an air pocket.
You can let.
Right.
Are you gonna do anything?
That's what I
Yeah,
was
to
thinking.
oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Because if there's
okay.
an air pocket, they can at least breathe.
So-
So you can stop bleeding because that blood.
It'll
Okay.
be
So
salty as hell, but it'll still
it
be air,
hits you and you're bleeding.
and that would reset there.
You're going to continue to climb. You're going to stay ahead of him.
Which is what
Yeah, I'm
we
gonna
need.
continue to climb.
Okay. So now you've lost 18 seconds out of your 74, and he's climbing ahead of you. If you want to keep him from bleeding, you got to get closer because you got to touch him.
Oh, I have to touch you.
Yeah.
Lay on hands
well,
is touch.
can't hear you. I'm just trying to get out.
And you can't cast a spell underwater because you didn't take the water breathing potion.
You're level 1 paladin, correct?
Yeah, just
Yeah, so he doesn't even have
He
spells.
doesn't have spells yet. So the best you can do is
The
lay on
ranger
hands,
does,
but you
but
can't.
just keep going.
quick
Can't
primeval,
talk, I
quick
can't.
primeval awareness. Find out how many sharks in your body. Oh wait, no, it doesn't tell you.
You already
Yes, it
know.
does me.
It doesn't tell him. He sees them.
Just tell me the phenome.
He says there's 4 plus. Yeah, exactly. 4 plus the 3 babies. Okay. Fourth action. You're now in the process of climbing. Go ahead and make a dex save with disadvantage because you're carrying all that gear upwards underwater.
18.
That's
Nice.
with disadvantage. Nice.
You better
Roll
not
twice.
lose our arrowheads.
He's well motivated.
Nice.
He's going. I am not going to want to be the one who dies here. No, I'm not.
Today, sharks.
So,
This is what happened to the missing 100
Okay,
arrowheads
so-
from the first crate.
go ahead.
Which one is it?
The D20. You're gonna roll it twice, and you're gonna
Take the
lowest.
worst.
You get a 1 and a 2. You take the 1.
16.
That's
So
not
roll
bad.
again.
16.
91.
Well,
if I'm from my
don't
direct-
do the math until you do
Oh,
your
yeah.
2
Yeah,
rolls.
like, just do the second roll.
Do the second roll.
Because it only matters.
What's
Oh no.
So what's that?
8?
8. So that's what you apply
8
your
plus the
modifiers.
modifiers.
0 modifier.
Okay. He actually stalls out at the bottom. He like tries to climb and realizes he can't climb with the shield in his hand. He's either going to have to take the time to strap it over his shoulder
Or drop it.
or drop it.
That's right.
We can
I got
always
gold.
replace your
I
holy
got
shield.
gold. I got gold.
Are you sure about
Okay.
that?
I kept my goals for sure.
Okay.
If I die, you guys.
Weighing
can-
me down, but
Okay. So
Quick, we must find our paladins.
so
corpse
now
we
you're a
can get
full
more
turn
gold.
behind him. You're now
He
a
has
full
treasure
round
trove.
behind him on the climbing. So one more climb and you should make it. Disadvantage one more time.
You can do it.
It's so great that the one thing emerging out of the water is the only thing that shot Bob.
yeah, it's an 8.
Yeah. You lose your handholds. You are free climbing after all, and so as you're starting to climb,
Oh, you knocked me down.
make
Okay,
your
well,
climb check.
at least he doesn't fall like a rock through the air. He just
It's like water, like.
it's,
Right.
it's a water
Well,
sink.
no, the thing is that he's climbing a surface like this, climbing the bottom of a boat. So when you fall, he's not going to hit you, but he's going to go all the way down.
Because unless you can
I
really
had something
reorient
heavy, you
yourself.
could like tie it to something to throw it at you. So you
Throw underwater?
No,
Have you ever tried to
just-
throw it?
no, like something
Just
heavy
climb.
to tie.
No.
Something like.
No.
Underwater
You're-
mechanics, you actually
like-
need something that can glide through air in order to throw it through water, such as javelins or arrows.
No, just
Anything
keep on
else,
climbing.
you're unfortunately at
I don't have
disadvantage.
anything to shoot though.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, start climbing.
5.
Well,
Yeah.
disadvantage, you roll twice.
With advantage, you're going to roll again, but it won't matter. You're only
Yes.
except to get worse.
12.
Well, just remember,
No.
nat 1 is always an option.
Right, right.
The worst thing than
Okay,
failure is
so,
nat 1.
So you're having a hell of a time trying to get a grip on it. You're trying to figure out how to put your hand on the barnacle. What's really creepy is you actually put your hand up onto it, started to climb on, and put your fingers into one of the barnacle holes, And barnacles have these things called anemones that live inside of them.
Oh no.
And so it actually climbs out and runs on your fingers and it freaks
They're-
you out. It's like, oh god!
It feels like worms are crawling over you.
Since you've not been a sailor, you don't know.
Oh wait, no, it's barnacles at the bottom of a ship.
Uh-huh.
Oh, in the worst case scenarios, those things are razor sharp. They hurt like hell.
Yeah. I'm assuming he also has gauntlet and gloves though, because he is in full armor.
Chainmail.
Yeah, yeah.
At least chainmail gauntlet.
Oh god.
Okay, so you see him go falling past you into the mud.
If you're not,
The sharks.
I'm a little worried
the
for
sharks-
the ranger.
The sharks now turn back towards you. The bad news is that he fell past you, still gouting blood from his wound from before.
How much seconds does he have left? Or do we have left?
You have
Whatever's left there, so.
you have that much, but you actually still have. If this runs out, we still will go with the raw seconds because we're into round 5, so round 5 times 6 is 30 seconds out of
So you have 7 more rounds.
74. So
And I'm pretty far from getting out.
No.
of the surface.
no, you're only 30 feet down.
Okay.
So keep on climbing.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
have
keep climbing.
15
But
Disney's
now,
got
no,
nothing
now
on
that you're
this
both down there,
hourglass.
you can give each other advantage and climb together. The issue is that you're both panicking and trying to do it alone. This way, at least you can
It makes
literally get
perfect
guide
sense.
handship.
No, because I was thinking if I could go up, drink the potion, and just get him.
You could,
Yeah.
but that means you have to climb. And this is the second round. You have not successfully climbed. You'd
And
be
he's
far better off.
bleeding,
You want the
losing
advantage. Trust me. What you need in this game
makes
is the advantage.
Okay,
So
so
give
You're
each
just
other
gonna
advantage.
grab you.
So now you're gonna roll. You're working together. Both of you get to roll twice and take the better of the 2 rolls.
So if you get a 4
And
a
if one of you
get a
makes
4.
it, you're still up because the other person will grab them and keep them from falling. This is how this works.
Well,
Nat one.
it's a good thing he's got advantage.
Good thing he's got advantage.
Roll
You
again.
roll again.
Oh
It's
my
not.
god.
Hey, it's not 2020
That's
yet.
crazy.
3.
9.
Okay.
So, yeah, no modifier, straight 9. He's still not going to make it.
23.
23. So you start the climb. You have to grab him though. So you've made
Your
15
handwriting is
feet. So you're a
atrocious.
third of the way down.
We're still just chilling.
The
Good
sharks.
type
7
of
minutes.
The sharks now make
Dude,
their
we're in
second
the
pass,
first
but this time
minute.
each one of them is
Through
going to
half,
take a bite
though,
at each
because
of you.
you're-
So I could
it
take
was
a-
7
I
minutes
could
just for
heal
me, so to do
I thought
both.
it was
Yes,
15
you no.
minutes.
Yes, you can by laying on of
He
hands.
said 7 minutes for both.
Yes, it
Help
can.
But I'm
So
good
we're
right now.
3
You
and
wanna
a
take a
half
hit and then I'll
for
heal?
each.
Did-
I'm
Because
at
they're
20
gonna
seconds.
attack.
But you
But
took
still,
damage.
Like, that's,
Yeah, I take
It's
damage.
still not.
You're
enough
still
time.
you're still
Not
bleeding
at all.
You're bleeding out. so
Yeah.
it's
until
fine.
he heals you.
Got it.
So
I can take
all
the hit.
because the shark had to come.
Wait, does he take damage from bleeding or?
No.
because you take damage from the shark attack now
Yeah.
from round 2.
Sharks are getting more.
They
I'm
get
at
into,
27.
they get into a blood
Okay.
frenzy.
Is lay hands a spoken
Because they could
spell?
all.
No.
No, it's
Even though they.
Or aren't they
attack
together?
together.
Can he do it now?
He
But
can,
but
he's
it's an action.
Right now I'm good.
actually it's really okay. So notice this. This all has to happen in pantomime.
Gotcha.
So you reach out and you got your you're raising your right hand to do your ritual, and he's going. You're going. He's going. He's going like this
And then I'm
with
like-
blood still scooshing out of his side.
No, actually, it's probably starting to fog up in front of you, depending on the severity
Heal
of the
him
wound.
anyway.
But you don't need his permission to do it. Do you wish to heal him?
Out of how much?
You
I
don't.
wish-
Don't ask him that. You
I
can't
wish
ask him
to
that.
give non-consensual healing.
I'm just gonna heal him just in case. Cause
How many
Okay,
you're
sharks
going to
are-
give him?
You only have
How
4
many hit
more.
points? You don't know. You got 4 more you can give away.
Yeah. I'll give him 3.
Okay. Does that you took more than 3 damage,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah. So you
It's
do
slowed,
it.
but
It's
not
yeah,
enough.
not enough
Yeah.
to staunch the flow. Now the sharks attack wave 2. Miss. Hit. On you. Miss.
So he's got
Oh.
chainmail, so he's a 16
Oh.
armor class because he dropped the shield.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Nat 20, nat
That's
20.
me.
Okay, so that
You need some
is.
dice, sir?
No, I'm good. I am good. So you take another 4 points of damage. And you take 13 points of damage.
Ooh.
Here's my
I
health.
think he's dead.
Right. Oh.
Oh no way.
You're level 1.
negative.
You're a paladin, so it's
Yeah.
a D10 plus
He's
your con
11.
mod. What's your con mod?
He's 11 right now.
So he's 11, so 13 puts him at death saves.
So the shark goes by and literally lacerates your throat, and you basically fall limp in the water, and you're holding him up because this was advantage. So you're now climbing by yourself. I am, however, going to I'm going to continue to give you advantage only because this is now not only your survival but his. So therefore,
It's the heroic
It's
movie moment
exactly.
where you're clawing your way up the sheer mountain cliffside.
You have
with 3
24
people
seconds.
tied to you.
24 seconds and 2 climbing checks to make. First climbing check.
You can
Is
only
that still
fail.
Dex?
Still a dex and still with advantage.
It's 14. First roll. 19.
Okay. You climb up quite a ways. You've got another 15 feet or so to go. Barnacles are considerably less this close to the surface.
23.
Okay. As you make that thing, and your hand comes up over, you feel incredibly massive strength exerted on the outside of your arm. As
I'm gonna still kill it.
We're stoking ourselves up.
as the octopus basically
we don't know
lifts
what's going
you
on, so I'm,
and
like,
your
just drinking.
associate
We're having a,
onto the deck.
we're having a drawing
Make your
party
first
while you guys
make
are
your
dying.
first death save underwater.
No.
Yep.
There's so much.
That's a fail. Now you make your second death save underwater.
Go for it.
10.
Natural 10.
Yes.
Okay. It's 1 and 1.
Well, the death saves are always natural.
No, I just want to make sure that he hadn't modified the thing.
He failed 1. He succeeded.
Okay. The octopus lays him upon the deck. Stands you on your feet.
I can't do anything to it.
The creature looks at you, and the sound that comes from it is really kind of a weird sound. It's making the clucking sound like,
Kiss,
but it's coming through that blubbery face of it. So it's make your next death save.
Oh, I thought that was a 1 from over here.
What is it?
Oh, it's a 7.
That's still a fail, but
Still
that
fail,
one
but-
is 2
So
fails.
you got.
So I mark it again.
So yeah, you're gonna keep marking it until it's done.
There's,
Do I let him live, killer?
Even though you shot me.
A simple yes or no question answer.
yes. Let him live.
Go ahead and make a Constitution save.
You've doomed
Not
I
you,
can
him.
kill
him.
someone. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have
You've
to kill someone.
doomed him. Doom.
7.
Lucky number 7.
Fails to save.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do for him. I did what I could. Make your next death save.
Here's another.
No, come on. Okay.
Okay.
All
Death
right.
magic.
If you want to know my personal viewpoint on this, every time you change dice, you're just resetting back to the probability. If you keep using the same one,
No.
no,
Like,
everyone changes because of probability rulings, John. That's the only
No, I
reason.
mean-
No, I know, but
I like the weight.
So you have to argue probability.
I got.
Nope.
What was it?
It's a 9.
Now roll the one you've been using.
It's all random.
It is random.
It is random.
But if your argument
Psychologically.
if your argument is the reason I'm switching is because this thing's been rolling bad, you're due a good one.
No, you're not. That's the fallacy.
That's
Okay,
Yeah.
but
It's all
okay.
a
So
fallacy.
when you go down, so when you die, because you died in the presence of an abyssal, the good news is you don't die.
you're just
The
tortured.
bad news is that the spirit that now imbues you is a released soul.
What is that?
It's somebody who was due for condemnation, but somebody was praying for them. So you are now what they call him, Oathbreaker.
At level 3.
Oh, can't make it till. Oh, that's okay. Okay.
Basically, you're a hollowed soul, which means that the DM can argue you're considered undead.
Okay.
Oathbreaker Paladin?
Oathbreaker's a level 3 because it's an archetype.
It's
Yeah,
like
get
you
it
can't
from-
choose.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
he
get it from
can't.
making an
He's
oath.
not high
Yeah,
enough level to be
okay.
chosen. So the issue is that issue is that you stop breathing, and you're thinking, "Oh God, I killed him," or "He's dead," and all of a sudden he starts breathing again. There's this cough, gout, blood and water come out of his mouth.
So I'm just hollow or whatever?
Don't worry about it at this
Yeah.
point.
You're good right now.
You're
You-
good for
you
now.
don't know.
No, wait. He would know. I mean,
No.
his
No,
spirit is
he-
dead, isn't it?
He wouldn't.
No,
His spirit is not dead.
he's alive.
I'll go up to.
Fifth edition rules that undead is actually the body is unable to be considered alive, but the spirit is tied to it.
And I'm not arguing either one of those. I'm arguing from a Nycosian standpoint.
And Nycos has its own rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Nycosian standpoint, he should have been filled with the spirit of something that should have been condemned, but somebody prayed for it. In this, because that's the only way people get redeemed. But the issue, because there's no, the Bible's not around right now. But without that,
No, that's on Wednesday.
yeah, no, it was,
We don't know where it is. It's somewhere, somewhere.
we know someone. And
I don't see.
Over the
In
rainbow.
Nycos.
Can't tell anything.
Over
It's
the
just
rainbow?
All of a sudden, it looks like he stopped
no,
breathing and then he woke up
his
again.
eye color changed. Pick another color for your eyes.
What color is it when you're blind? Like white or gray?
It's milky white.
You're just
You could
pale.
go Milky Way. You could
You
go
don't wanna
pink.
do that with me.
You could go green.
Sign of
Purple?
corruption.
You just slowly start lifting your crossbow.
You know,
I didn't
beautiful
drop it.
purple eyes.
What race are you?
Goliath.
Goliath.
Oh, Goliaths already don't have eye color.
He does
But
now.
he
That's what I'm
does
saying. He
now.
does now. Pick one. Just pick a color of eyes.
Black.
No.
No.
Other than colorless. So it's got to be a tone. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue,
Brown.
violet, brown,
Yellow.
yellow. Okay.
Holy.
He coughs, spits up the water, and looks up at you with yellow, plaintive eyes.
Totally different.
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
Yeah.
Oh god, his kidneys are failing.
16.
Yep. Something's different about the boy now.
Alright, I'll just.
By the way, you can now put down that your hated enemy are the Abyssals. You don't have a choice now.
I hate abyssals.
Yeah, him.
Oh, okay.
Where do I put them?
Just.
Just
You
anywhere
don't have to worry
want.
about it. It's not really something that paladins deal with. It's actually
Yeah.
something that
It's a ranger
It's a ranger
specific
thing,
thing.
But it doesn't matter. You will never work
Not
with
hate
or
them.
yeah,
You'll never not hate them.
yes. Because they messed with you.
Oh, that means that we're getting nice gear up for Oath of Vengeance.
Yep.
I'll lift them up and pretty much just. We're on top of a.
He goes,
ship
you're
deck.
on board my vessel now.
What was it?
You're aboard my vessel now.
Well, take us to the shore and we'll be off your vessel.
Oh, that's not how it works, boyo.
Am I unconscious or?
No,
you're up.
you're back. You're back to full. You're
your
as
eyes,
at
your
full hit
eyes
points.
fluttered open.
Okay, I want to be like, could you help us get up there? We'll.
You're
You're
on
on
board
the,
the vessel.
you're on the ship already.
Oh, okay.
He dragged you up.
Oh, okay.
You see him turning as
That's the only way you can
remember
come
he was
back to
octopoid, kind of
consciousness.
bipedal in nature, but as he walks towards the cabins portion of the ship, towards midships, you see his flesh contorts and shifts, just like he can color change. It contorts and shift where he's in full sailor's garb.
Yo,
What
ho, ho,
are
with-
you?
nope.
Do you know what he is? Like,
He looks like an
He's a-
octopus now in sailor's
Abyssal.
garb.
He's
Oh.
demon, or well,
Yeah.
from our perspective, yeah, because you sense. Did he sense something?
Oh yeah, he sensed it in the
You
water.
know him because you're the one who helped him the last time. He's the only one that saw it, but yeah.
oh,
So
and
I'm-
you and just so
The two of them saw it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just so you know, from last week, just on a meta thing, these things didn't they didn't. This
They
is like
didn't-
the first one that we are knowingly saying. So we don't even know what octopi.
This is unholy.
Yeah.
It's
This-
unholy because it's unknown.
No, we don't know what octopi are in this world.
It's not, all things that are unknown are not unholy.
Right, but well, and for clarification, you don't know because you've not been to sea. This
No,
is
things that are
oceanic.
unknown are
It's
unholy, tell him.
the octopus is a creature of the sea.
Don't tell me.
corruption.
But the more particular, demons, the demonic nature of this thing is not from here. That's been his whole point. He's been saying that since you met him, that he's here to kill things that are from other places. This thing that now shifts into looking like it's wearing now. For clarification, the sailor's garb he's wearing is rattled. It's torn, things like that. But he's got the big, tall thigh high boots, like a
But he's
swashbuckler
still in
type.
that tentacle.
Tight breeches.
That's okay.
Is he like a
That's just-
humanoid?
Yeah, he looks
Octopus
humanoid now.
face?
Yeah, well, his whole his hands are octopus things.
Octopus
Tentacles.
tentacle hands.
And multiple tentacles down each sleeve. rag twisted and wound together.
Oh, cool. So when he
Okay,
tries to
so-
look like he's flexing, he's
Yeah.
just making the
Bodies.
tentacles.
No, yeah.
Sliding past each other. Yeah,
It
exactly.
helped me out, but
Not just making a
And he decided
condenser.
on his property.
Yes, you're
to
on
me,
board
he's
his
not
vessel.
letting him off, so that means I'm gonna attack him.
Off the bat.
Well,
We
okay.
should have some dialogue.
This is also
Oh.
the point when you realize that he's not alone, as several other beings
Yeah.
are swinging down out of the rigging. Most of them are animalistic as well. So most of them have kind of an ape kind of a shape. Some of them have the faces of hounds. Towards the back, as he shouts to weigh anchor, the ones to the back look like rhinoceri. These big, just buff creatures with the big rhinoceros noses and stuff. So these things, they're all alien to you. This is feels really wrong as this vessel. And as he's weighing anchor, there's that kind of a sucking sound, if you will, as the vessel lifts out of the bog.
Way up.
From where you are, you guys hear in the distance a ship's whistle.
I think we just
Whistle.
And it's daylight.
The
now.
bosun's whistle.
Yeah.
No, it's
Wow.
late evening.
It's
So
a
he's
business
not gonna
trip,
let us
isn't
do
it?
that.
It's only been a few
Or
minutes.
is it in a
No, I'm
different
talking
direction?
about after a long rest because we've
Yeah, you spent the night, most of the night there, but it hasn't yet
You
dawned.
take leave,
Okay, gotcha.
you
Okay,
pretty much
forgot
Kurt,
we long rested.
is that from your ship?
hold me back. Kind of.
That was not his bosun's whistle. No, the call was
Because
different.
You might want to work a deal.
Each crew has
And then,
basically a
like,
different
you don't
sound
wanna
to
do
it.
a deal with them.
So that you don't get
Yeah,
mistaken.
You don't want to do deals. No.
And don't
Okay, are we gonna take this thing out
Take
here
my
and
word,
leave the
yeah.
skip there,
Like,
or
I'm
should
not
we
counting.
pick up the skip? If they were gonna be
That's the
back, they
thing
should have
with-
been.
With the whistle,
Well, it's only been 3 minutes.
just a second.
Demons and-
With the whistle,
It's different for his
the
own
skiff
background, but if you
shudders.
find deals,
it begins to move.
You gotta read the
Oh yeah, so we're done. We're
Pretty much,
Okay,
They
this is
want
happening.
to get sold.
It just
That's
moves.
the
It's
whole
just you
drive.
feel it move. It doesn't.
It's like a tree,
It's not.
especially if you're a
The kelp
paladin
releases
or
its
like a
hold.
holy warrior,
Okay,
they're valuable.
and we're just moving. So
Yeah,
Well, I feel like
you're on
everything
board.
and at this point we're done
regardless.
transcribing.
Yeah, everything. Yeah,
Well,
you finish your drawings as the vessel starts
So
to
now we
pull
have
up.
2 copies. Okay. 4 copies total.
It could be
I'm not
I'll
gonna
save
sign
one.
anything.
Okay.
boom.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I will not sign.
actually, he should
I
have
know
2 halves of one.
they're
You should
tricky.
have the two,
You know what I mean?
same 2
You know,
halves. That way, there's no possibility
kinda
of these
playing
things
more to
getting
my
together and
character.
somebody reading it.
Like they're very
He'd have the
Except that-
same 2.
So
black and white.
she's wanting you to
Pretty
keep
much.
it so
There's
that it's a
little
key.
gray there sometimes. Like,
It's a keyed
But I
lock.
was gonna take them so somebody can
There'd be a little
analyze them.
gray.
Like I'm not that. I mean, I'll put them.
He's spoken over.
They're folded up, so there's no way of them overlapping. These are like
Okay.
That's
large.
scary.
Yeah,
You have
Okay.
one copy. I have one copy of each.
She's an elf.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what.
yeah, but she was just saying not to have 2 copies of the damn thing
So
floating
they
around.
overlap. So,
So
yeah,
that's why
so
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm just refraining from. She
Not
kinda
without
passed
intent.
Some tests, but
All right.
I don't think that's bad.
So as the vessel literally lifts off and into the night sky and literally seems to be drifting on the mist itself, you see several smaller lights moving towards the vessel as other craft are returning to the ship.
Is your dad gonna be mad about the?
The dinghy's still sitting on the shore.
how do these craft look like? Are they like
The
skiffs?
smaller ones, some are
look
most of them are.
It's a variety,
yeah.
I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Yeah, most of them are skiffs. There's a couple of sloops and
Non-skiffs.
a couple of dinghies, but for the most part,
Who won
one
the-
actual long ship, longboat.
You want to take lead on
Anyway, what you find interesting is that the one coming up from, as you get to elevation, you can see the bay where you originally landed. You can see the dinghy, and coming up from that is a skiff with your friends on board.
Did you lose the goal?
Is that the first thing you asked?
Okay, so
Oh my
We're
god.
both money people. Hey.
We-
A coalition needs money
we
to
saw the
survive.
shark with your arrows, so we assumed you were all right.
You don't have.
I don't want.
And then you see the
How
crewmen
far up are we?
on board the vessel.
No, they're coming up to us.
Do we see
on the
Bob?
Skiff themselves.
Oh,
So say
Not
we
yet.
just.
We don't recognize
wait
them
for him to
probably.
join up.
Not,
Yeah.
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance you would
Yeah.
never recognize.
I
Because
haven't seen
neither
any
of us are
sex
keen
yet,
sighted.
have I?
None of us are keen
Yeah,
sighted.
I've not seen any sex.
Yeah, I don't think
they're
Sierra's
not gonna
met
get
a-
hurt
met-
by
met a sex gen yet.
non-magical
No.
weapons.
No.
Oh,
So I'm kind of used
Oh,
to
we
this,
don't have any.
except for
And I have
spells.
none.
Silk
Next
is not
time,
very
get a silver sword.
centric.
I'll go
Do I
get a
see
silver
other
sword.
beasts?
I'll go
Or a
sharp.
good match.
Can I tell-
beast like people.
Lucius, don't shoot anything until we get there.
You're like, what?
He's got his hands like this. There's no crossbow to be seen.
I'm just like, don't shoot anything.
Like you can see his pack has been thinned. His actual the monster kit that was on the bottom back of his kit is gone.
Oh damn.
Does a crocodile just like cough real hard and like just a piece of something recognizable?
Too bad you didn't have a pocket watch, because that would have been cool if one of the crocs had swallowed a pocket watch.
Wait a moment.
That's awesome.
They had sharks, not
I know.
crocs.
No, there were crocs.
On our side.
Yes.
Not on their
I
side.
do not
And
have.
They're
a
still
crossbow.
making a joke.
The shark could have eaten it, and then the crocs
my
could have eaten the
crossbow's gone.
shark.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
water someplace
Okay.
back there. You had to climb.
Yeah, so I dropped that.
You still got the quiver, mostly full of water.
Does he still have his sword?
Yeah.
Yeah, he still have his blade.
There's a crab.
And the
The
other one.
sand in
The
the
col-
juice.
the cut-
You still got the
No,
cutlass.
there's the water in the quiver.
Okay.
Don't try to kill anything.
Well, no, I know I'm like useless right now. Got it.
Okay, as the vessels
I
come
like
on.
how you trying not to kill stuff makes your character
Useless.
It's what I do.
It's kind of my theme.
It's my
Yeah.
idiom.
You mean decorum? That word does not compute.
I'm just waiting for the day when you guys all turn to Lucius and go, okay, now, kill. You're going to pop his knuckles and
The
walk
day
right in.
will come, but not today.
That's awesome.
So how
All
are we
right, so
gonna
as the
get
vessel comes up and alongside the larger vessel, ropes are tossed to you from the various crewmen.
Okay.
And you basically help them land the craft. They stow them on in the different places along the sides of the boat of the bigger ship. The vessel's called the Ramshackle.
And this is Bob's vessel.
Bob is the captain.
I
Yes,
just call him Bob.
Captain of the Ramshackle.
Bob Schugnigrith.
Can I tell how this vessel's being navigated with, or is it?
There's a
Kinda-
black dust that drifts away from the vessel as it climbs.
Oh, and can we, when we're coming up, can we do an investigation on the bottom just to kind of get an idea? too?
Yeah, you
Since
see
we're so-
barnacles and
So can like just to see if this is a living thing that's they're riding as a
It's
ship?
a ship. Why would we assume that it would be something else?
it looks just like a ship.
Oh, it looks just like a ship.
It,
Okay.
it doesn't look like
It-
a shell or something. It's just got barnacles on the
Got
side.
it.
Doesn't look like a living
But
piece
it's
of coral that's
flying.
shaped like a ship.
But it's
Exactly.
flying.
Yeah.
But it's
Also, you'll notice that once they get airborne, there are actually short, almost mechanized masts that lower from the lower where the water line would be. These wing-like appendages come out, and they actually rig sails down below as well.
Oh, okay. So we're on like a
mine ship.
baby kite, almost a flying airship.
Except that it's flying by silent magic. There's no music. There's no, and it looks like a ship. I understand why you were asking about it, because compared to the seedling vessel, yeah, no, this is actually looks like it's constructed. Although at certain angles, and the closer we get to daylight, they increase. You actually can see through parts of the vessel. This does not solve or resolve your ease in any way.
So we're aboard.
Right, and you're turning inland.
I hug Lucius and Eglith.
Okay. Okay, so when you go to hug Egolith, make a perception test.
16.
Okay. You see his yellow eyes, which is not what they were before, and the hug doesn't even. On his point, it's not a hug on his part. You're hugging a stone, as far as you're concerned.
It's a Goliath.
He's
What's
not.
the
Well,
difference?
no, I'm saying. I'm not saying that you assume that a crew member might be interested in reciprocating. It's like he's not there. It's like you're hugging a piece of rock.
Yeah, there's something wrong with him.
You just say that out loud.
Yeah.
I have
still
no
haven't
crossbow to
determined
shoot him
what is
with,
wrong
though.
him, but for now, he seems on the up and up.
Can I just ask what happened, and then they just
Sure, they can.
Vomit the details.
and they just like
Sure.
Yeah, that we made a mistake.
and then
I still got.
So what happened to you? We tried
did
to
you
get
lose the potions
Yes.
too?
Just remember that it's all. on my
And
little-
luckily, though, I had bought 10 and had 4 on my person, so I give you guys each one more potion of Unburdened.
Oh, lucky them.
I was like, maybe we'll use these next time. What do we do if we're
imagine
going-
you're a little patronizing. You do a little head pat.
I'm like, what do we do when we go underwater, guys?
Before we go into water.
Before we go underwater, guys.
Always check
And
your
I was
rear.
mad about the belt buckle.
Bob. She goes
Yeah, they
out
waste the
and
expensive
comes over,
potions.
you can
Yeah.
see
I think that
Bob.
should come out
Yeah.
of their funds for
Where
It's all
we
the
good.
rations.
I gave them.
We're headed for port. Safer waters.
So,
He points. Now, the mountain range where Selk is near the coast. Up the coast, if you remember, up the pass, there's a place called Point's Edge, a big hotel, ancient, not being used. There's a main road that goes through it, but that road's not been used for a long, long time either. From that place, there's a small trail that goes even farther up on the mountain to a place called Banbury, on a place called along what's known as Blackstone Ridge. He's pointing beyond that to a large hook-like mountain. He says, "We're headed for the crag."
Not the crag.
could you drop us off so we could get back to Sal?
That's not how it works, Curlio. You are the guests of the captain
Where's the place now?
at my leisure
Heading to the crag.
until I decide what's to be done with you.
And are we talking to Bob right now? Is this Bob?
Yeah.
How did the
Who's
sect
the
gen around here
captain?
look? Do they look like dour and defeated, or do they look like they're just working?
They're kind of enthusiastic.
This is his
What, the creatures?
Yeah,
the
the
sections.
Did they appear out of nowhere, or they were kind of?
No, they
there?
were hiding, waiting for the.
Okay.
What
They
kind
didn't know
of
what was going on.
creatures are those?
They're just like animal hybrids.
But yeah, but you've
She's
never seen
never
one
seen
before.
one.
You've
You
never
know.
seen one before.
Yeah.
Those are corrupted beings.
Well, it's like
We're
it's like
living
the
in
beings
some
we
would I
saw
have
in the
possibly
wood
seen,
that
some
the
come on
people of
ships in
Nassau
the past
were
or come as travelers.
harvesting.
Okay,
Sure.
so I know of them, but
Oh,
I'm
I
not
remember
familiar.
that.
Right, you've never
I
seen
was
this
like,
high of a
They are
concentration.
mutants.
So you might want to correct him.
Sorry.
No, you're
Oh.
you're answering from what you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's got a little bit more perfect knowledge because he's dealt with them before.
They're denizens of Nycos. Just don't shoot first. Ask them. They each have names and they have dreams and families.
So they are not fiends.
No,
They can be killed.
so can you.
No,
no
doubt.
Yes, go talk. What's the name for the rhino people? Well, no, because
Well,
each one has a name.
My interpretation is that they are
like how
demons.
Yeah, they're
You got
they're
Tarmac
they're,
and
they're,
all
they're Seraton.
Seraton. Go tell the
So
Seraton
do
you
I,
wish to fight.
well,
we'll see
initially,
how it
did I
goes.
know these creatures since?
You're
Or-
familiar with you
Oh.
are familiar with SecGen
Okay, never
as
mind.
well. It's just that again, they're not. They're usually in more inland areas, and very very few of them travel this far south.
Okay, retcon a little piece of that,
Yeah,
and then just say they are working for a fiend.
right. Now they don't see
And-
they don't see him
Yeah.
as that. They only see him as an octopoid,
They see him as a fish.
cephalopod.
Offset a fish.
I look at Bob and I say, "Hey, Bob, we are, we still have a we're still on our mission, and I'm a firm believer in that. Knowing what I know, you helped my compatriots. Even though one of them had tried to shoot you.
Well, one of them will certainly be allowed to make landfall at Crag. I haven't yet determined whether the rest of you will or not. One of them has already signed the deed.
She signed with your soul.
Corrupted.
What if we make a charitable donation of some golden arrowheads and some
5 gold.
No, yeah.
I have no need for mortal weaponry.
Golden
They're
arrowheads.
shiny.
Yes, that's only used to kill mortals.
What are you interested in that isn't
How do
of
they
a
kill
soul?
He hasn't.
What's different about gold arrowheads?
Nothing here. Nothing now.
Okay, what was?
Are you a gambling man, Bob?
Hi. Liar's Dice Beamy game.
Christ.
Of course, I'm a freaking pirate. What do
Yeah.
we play?
They like games of chance and everything.
What about?
I also believe in the fates and Calypso and all of that
I
nonsense.
don't like making deals, but I like gambling.
Oh, I don't like deals either. They only work for a short period of time, and people find ways to corrupt them. No, your friend will only have access long enough to gather supplies before we head out to our true mission. Whether or not you come with us or not is going to be a matter of your choices.
I think we
Huh.
need to return to self.
I mean, we're trying to, but like we're outnumbered. So I don't know if
How
we.
high are we off this ocean?
How high are you over the mountains?
Oh, the mountain.
Right,
We're
you're
already
already over the inland. You're going up the pass the same way as if you were leaving Sulk. So we were already inland of Sulk by this point.
Or the other section.
You're literally riding on the mists of the mists recede.
Just from this
Yes.
tactical advantage, how does Sulk look compared to anything else that we see as a
Sulk is.
possible Nassau thing?
Oh no, Sulk's seeming to. It's actually starting to look like sort of a paramilitary camp because the Red Veil has stepped in and started to administer the.
Militarize.
Well, they're using military tactics and such to regiment the giveaways and things like that to make sure that people aren't just looting and stealing, and therefore they're actually setting up tents and utilizing some of the donated materials that was in your pool to try to make the best of what there is there. So the people you put in place
We're doing their job.
are doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, that's good.
It'll hold for a while.
Glad we're floating.
Well, I also wanted to make sure there wasn't a small grouping of others coming. Since we're high up, I wanted to know if
I
see anything.
Yeah, no. As a matter of fact, when you pass over the
Clearing.
the clearing where they were, the vessel's missing. It's not there. It's no longer there either.
So they left their man behind. That's gonna be interesting later down the road.
So
What do you have to gamble with him? He doesn't want anything we have.
What is the
Oh, there's something you have that I'll take. And if I wait long enough, you'll just give it to me. It already happened once. He didn't have anything to say about it. He just laid there on my deck and acquiesced to my request.
Apparently, the Ave
Means
already
yes.
agreed something when we weren't here.
yeah. What do you?
I suggest you ask different questions. You have. I'm more than willing to talk about what it is we're doing.
Where are we going? Where are you taking us?
Well, I'm going to the crag because I've got to resupply before we go back and begin our first mission for His Eminence.
Who's His Eminence?
He's known to people, landlubbers, as the pasty-faced one.
Oh no, not the pasty-faced one.
Is that name familiar
Does
to
he like
anybody here?
sitting on
No.
a throne,
Boyle.
What's that?
controlling undead?
That be the one.
Why would you work for something, an abomination like that?
We all heard the same call, and the same person that asked you to unify is asking us to unify. He said, all of those that wish to face the others, find each other, make allies, prepare for war.
So your fight is with the others.
Well, of course. It's the easiest, quickest access to the raw resources that we need to finish our project. He's going, Gates. He knows what that means.
That's the first thing I was thinking is like giant portal.
Yeah.
The far realm.
So are you harvesting? Do gravelings just to kind of confirm out loud? Do
Sure.
gravelings have anything to do with your plan, your long-term plan?
Well, gravelings are a bit of a hindrance to us. As long as we can disrupt where they're going, it's okay with us.
Okay, so now we absolutely throw one. Well, we are here for your cause and fighting the others, but we don't want to partake in anything else.
Right, but I have to determine what I'm going to do with you. I can't just...
Why is that your determination? We got on.
I
your-
am the captain of the ship, and your friends requested that I save one of your number.
Did he save him?
No.
He's standing
Well,
there among you, is
according
he
to
not?
me, yeah.
Yo.
From
Yo.
Can I still talk and stuff?
Yeah, you're still
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
You're
just-
there.
Yeah. Did you save?
Yeah.
You just
Yo, guys.
you're a little death touched, so it's just an.
It's
awkward
perfectly
feeling.
fine for you to say weird and mysterious things. Feel free to just kind of blurt shit out. That's fine.
Every time a door closes, we are trapped. We will never escape.
Whatever you want to say. You just
yeah.
until your 4th level, you've got all kinds of control of the character. So
After 4th level,
So I'm a hypocrite. Made a deal.
You made a deal. I look at you.
Last
no,
minute.
no, he didn't. Yeah, he
Well-
did make a deal. He did make a deal.
Yeah, I look at you like, really, Mr. Rule Number 1.
But most important, he did it for someone else, which by her definition is a good thing.
Yeah.
oh good, the corruption of the rules. I wonder what kind of people do that.
By her definition.
The greater
Your
good.
definition.
Well, we're heading up our own alliance.
Yes, we've heard of this now,
You just heard of it now?
recently.
We
No, we're not the recent.
and we're looking for the Soprazzo.
Oh, yes, that's. I do recall you. I gave you what you were looking for there.
Yeah, and we were on our way till somebody went through your portal that you shouldn't leave those things lying around. By the way, those are very.
Well, it's handy for me to return to my rendezvous points and gather to meet with my associates.
Well, have fun returning to the Revolt's rendezvous point next time. Good luck.
Well, why? What happened?
A shark jumped out of your portal and destroyed it.
Oh, is that where Rufus went?
Well,
His
you're
name
not,
was Rufus.
You're not going to like what those crocodiles probably did to Rufus after the fact.
Yes, I hope he gives them indigestion. All of them.
And nobody shot him. He was completely fine before he came through the portal.
That's completely not true because I was still in the water at the time. I saw the crossbow.
I saw the dooming of Rufus.
I saw the baiting of Rufus.
Anybody have any questions for him? I mean, I'm just talking to him.
Well, we've got several days of travel, so got lots of time.
During that time, I want
So I can give you some more, and give you more data about what you see and all of that. Anything else, you guys?
During the downtime, I'd like him to teach me that little song that he has to use his portals. It was catchy.
Sure. You have to let me write it, but yeah, got it for you next time.
I'm down.
You want me to write a song in Abyssal that you guys are all going to learn? A catchy little tune
I'll
from
learn
the
it.
Abyss? Wow! I think it should be, this is the song that never ends. Because that clearly came from the Abyss.
Is there?
This is the gate that never...
Closes.
So
Oh God, the way you keep doing it is you're doing it to a bit. I'm hearing it to the tune of Knights of the Round Table from
Nice.
Python Holy Grail.
So can I assume that when he said my waypoints with his when this teleporting portal said he has other ones scattered around Nycos?
That's an interesting assessment.
Assumption.
Go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Damn it, 7.
Not yet. You can't make that conclusion yet.
I in like my passing time in like a part of the ship. I mean, that, you know, is not necessarily in front and center of everybody, I start carving.
You're gonna carve on this ship?
Yeah, why not? He's making me a slave here. Might as well.
I'm not making anybody a slave. Have I asked you to do a single stitch of work? You're my guests.
You want me to put some art on your ship?
Of course not. It's called scrimshaw and it's against the law. Tell you what, scrimshaw your own bones. That way, when I add them to my treasure trove, then it'll make the ship more beautiful.
Can I ask him how do the question? How do your portals work? Are they activated and you go through them, or are they activated and you just appear? Because I'm thinking about like tattooing it on me, just in a meta sense, of tattooing it on me, or like marking my body with it. So if I wanted to activate, I would teleport to somewhere else.
You've got the Goliath with the
No,
tail. That's
you have to
funny.
go through it. You
No,
know,
he's a
asking.
tattoo
I don't-
guy too,
I mean,
right?
you-
Well, Goliath, theirs actually
Because-
come in through their own body as maturity, so tattooing your skin is basically displaying you're a liar.
No, but my thing is that the shark that
He's a
was-
charlatan, so it makes perfect sense.
The
No,
sh-
but it's so frowned upon in Goliath's
but the
society.
well, I mean, he's not a Goliath.
tattooing?
Yeah, he is.
Yes,
He's
yes.
Goliath.
I mean, but like he's like orange, yellow dyed. He doesn't even.
He's still a Goliath.
He's been saying fart fignugan like 5 times over the couple days we've been on this trip. I don't think he's all there yet.
Was he out unconscious?
Were you like?
For a
did you
moment.
see anything
For a
when you
moment.
blacked
Did you
out?
see a light?
You can actually tell her.
Yeah.
He actually failed death saves.
Did you see anything
Yeah.
when you
For
were?
a moment
He was actually
seems
dead.
to be gone, but then all out of nowhere
He saw the
woke
great
up.
tentacled one.
But his eyes changed,
Yeah.
and some of a sense
Oh, they're
he's
yellow.
different.
Do they match Bob's?
Yeah, the eyes are the window of the soul. Ergo, the soul that's in there isn't his.
Okay.
It's the other one.
Peavy?
All right. Thank you.
Do we see Bob interacting any differently with him than the rest of us?
Yeah, they have this weird
Are you
like
feeling better?
That's
handshake,
I'm like,
fist bump, slip, slap.
they're
but like,
like correction.
and the only reason I asked the like marking if I marked my body with it is because the shark was well bigger. It was a 1,000-pound shark. We're saying that shark, got sucked through this portal that was this big. So because that's why I was asking if it was like a teleportation that just puts you on the other side of the portal. or
No,
you go
the
through
the
it?
portal on the other side was big enough you could walk through it.
Got it. Okay.
But you don't. Yeah, they would have
never
explained
saw
it.
it.
They would explain
Okay.
that to you.
Gotcha.
When
Yeah.
I can get a time to talk to the others while our good paladin's around, she says the soul that's in there is not good.
Okay.
But
It's abyssal.
Yeah, you,
More interference for my
yeah.
But doesn't he?
primitive awareness.
But
Isn't
does
that weird?
but you have a hate of abyssal, so is
Yeah,
it like a
it's weird.
self-loathing thing?
No,
It's
you've
just
you've
a
heard of
different
Spawn.
person inside.
You've heard of
yeah.
you heard of
That's what
Spawn.
character
Yeah.
Spawn.
The whole plot
he's
is a
denizen of
character.
hell, but he hates.
He was
people
sent.
from
He was sent to the abyss for a crime that he didn't commit. And then he has to find his way out. In this case, the way it works is souls that are on their way to a horrible, horrible fate can have that course changed by prayer. So if somebody cared enough about the soul that you're now currently to
residing.
drag it into your body. Therefore, you redeemed that person, even as you, as Goliath, died.
Okay.
Therefore,
So
it's no longer you that's living, but it's another soul. So don't worry about it. You're still you. It's just a different you. Ideological,
you might get access to some memories later.
that kind of thing.
something.
It feels awkward because have you ever had like the feeling that like sometimes you just don't feel right in your skin? Like just something feels off.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get
it's pretty much that.
you. Okay.
You recognize yourself, you just don't feel like yourself.
Oh, okay.
After
Well,
like
and you honestly, these people that are talking to you like your friends, you don't really remember them. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
You're literally a brand new person, but you're trying to fake that you are the same person because you don't want to make them angry because you don't know.
One of them has been talking about killing you out in the open.
Possibility.
Oh,
so do we kill him?
I'm sitting
Is
right
there
next
any
to
way I
him.
can like check him?
If you
Or
ask him,
mark?
Well, I
Ask
have
him.
control of myself, right? So
Sure.
it's not like I could be evil, but I'm like, dude, it's cool.
Relax, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So
can-
yeah, if you wanted to
Like an examination in a way, like
yeah,
what I'm.
You might not wanna-
Studying, but
Egg
like
lab. You like
more,
cards?
You know,
Do you like cards?
but
Okay.
never mind. I
Let's play some cards.
don't have my holy water with me.
Yeah, you see that hand? That's actually a rogue's gambit, so you actually lose because mine's the dwarves anvil. I'm teaching him how to play wrong.
okay. Fair enough.
We're on this ship
No, he
for
does.
5 days.
More than likely, you know how to play cards. You just he
You know,
starts to tell you something. You go, no, it's 3 trumps. I'm still good.
3 trumps.
So like we've been on the ship. We're on the ship for how many days?
It's going to be about a week.
Okay, so I ask.
She
I
always
just start having.
tells you.
What do you guys know about the others so far?
She just knows that someone else.
Not much more than you do, except that there's
She prayed for the soul of the party. and prayed
there's
for the soul that is down
if you
there.
call a nest of them, a school of them. What do you call a group of them? There's at least a couple hundred that are living off the coast
Of what?
of Silk. About a depth of about 20 leagues.
They're living at a depth of 20 leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, a league is 6 feet.
Yeah.
An underwater
No, a
layer.
fathom is 6
Fathom. Yeah. 20 fathoms.
Yeah, league is a different measure, and
It's
it's kind of variable depending on
On the windage and
Yeah, well, no,
latitude.
it's
20,000 leagues under the sea.
it is actually a land measure more than a sea measure.
It's a distance a legion can travel in one day. It's about
It's a
6 to
great
7
distance.
miles.
It's a great distance.
So are we? So we've captured one,
Oh,
and we.
but you didn't bring him with you. How unfortunate.
If we're comparing notes,
Oh, we could trade.
what's-
That would get you back to Silk.
what would the trade? Could we?
You'd give him to us.
I have one more. We have one more interrogation because the last interrogation, we still have more questions.
Okay.
But we'd be happy to let you and your.
Oh no, we'd have to take possession.
No, we'd give them to you. But we.
Wait a moment.
No,
you won't.
Why not? He's an enemy.
You're going yes.
I'm trading.
Finally, somebody's showing some restraint.
No.
I'm trading 5. I'm trading 5 of our lives for 1 enemy's life.
No, not.
So you are
Not
willing to
to
sacrifice your life for the sake of one of the others.
If I had to sacrifice my life to make sure that no soul was condemned to the abyss, I would.
Okay.
Who's gonna die?
We've captured another.
They captured the mortal in
We
the.
captured one of them.
I will not give over.
You were there actually for
Anybody.
the first interrogation episode.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
Also, it does smack a bit of slavery.
Oh jeez. Well, now you gotta.
No, I mean it.
So if
Give.
you
I
go
want
to
you
them,
to give him to
They're
us.
gonna kill him.
Who knows? Obviously, there's gonna be corrupted. From what I can understand.
Where are you at on the whole? I mean, we have to get off the ship. We are the.
Well, yeah.
We are the 5 representative leaders.
But I'm just saying that's the first. That's the first information you've given me. That's worth trading.
That's the. I mean, I got.
So I told you I gave you some, so you need to give me some.
So I mean, I think we're the 5 leading people in the now. We have an enemy combatant. We have something to barter it for.
But that is trading. It is trading slaves.
No.
Trading servants.
Well,
That's
we got 300,000 more too.
300,000 more what?
299,000.
Yeah, we can go find another one. Maybe
No, we can tell them where they are. They can go get their own. I will not.
They know where they're on. They're in a sky ship. We're-
They're down on the ground.
They weren't when we passed over that spot. They were gone.
That's one of the things I asked first.
Yeah, They don't know where they are. We have
Well,
some.
they know that there's some underwater.
Yeah, we know where there's a nest of them.
What if we can get you another one?
No.
That's its own.
I mean,
You dealing deals with demons?
we already did a
I
deal
know.
with one. We
Yeah.
haven't you seen our yellow-eyed compatriot over here?
He's like, dude, I'm cool. It's all cool. I don't know who I am yet, but it's cool.
I'm gonna go through a
I
detox.
wasn't there. I didn't know what happened.
He told you what happened.
Being a large
Okay.
ship
Yeah.
like this,
They
Told
did
me
tell you.
That he,
being a
Sure.
fairly large
Bob
ship with
asked
a
him
large
if he wanted
variety
to
of
say
Yeah, you talked to the
his
folks.
volunteers,
friend.
is there anyone
He
here of faith?
said yes. And I
Oh, good point.
understand the
Good point.
exigency of his.
You find that they keep referring to something they call the sextant.
The sextant?
Yes.
Hmm.
But there's no need for a sextant in Nycosian space because there's
Not
no
in a traditional sense.
Right, there's no
So the name
stellar
doesn't make
source.
sense to us.
Right. So it sounds more like a role, like a sexton, S-E-X-T-O-N,
The
like a
sextant as
religious
a
leader.
title.
As a religious leader.
Yes.
And they keep referring to checking with the sexton concerning their course.
Do we see who they refer to in that case?
You're able to, because of the fact that you've been pursuing this for a couple of the days, you find that the bosun's mate or the first mate will leave station at the captain's wheel and go forward to basically the housing for the windlass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the device used for raising and lowering the anchor.
Yes.
And will go disappear in there for a while. And when they come back, they head back, and almost always that leads to a course change.
So when it, after one of his encounters in there, while
Sure.
everyone else is talking amongst themselves about that,
Right.
I'm gonna sneak down there.
Sure. Make a dex save.
Well, is it a stealth check or?
Oh, you're gonna go stealth? Sure.
Yeah, because I'm sneaking.
Sure.
Okay. That is a modified 20.
Okay. So when you pass under there, the first thing you notice is that the entire area is interlaced with all kinds of cobwebs. I mean, lots of cobwebs. More than 1,000 tiny spiders would make.
I don't mind too much.
So
Well, Kern doesn't.
you push.
He's blindfolded.
Right. Well, yeah, you kind of feel a little bit homey like. They've actually tarred and mortared all of the seams, so there is no light that gets into this area.
It is darkened.
And the snaps and the crackles of the webs breaking indicate that might have been made by poisonous type spiders, the ones that actually have to hold their prey.
Mm-hmm.
And as you turn the corner, there is this mass, basically seems to be strapped to the wall with webbing. That's the lower half of its body is looks like a giant, a monstrously giant black widow, and the upper half of a 12-breasted and rather haggardly looking woman.
In meta, it's reminiscent of a Drider.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of a Drider, but it's a rather
Different.
Yes, and
Rather horrific version.
it's upper
horrific
face.
in the regular.
It's upper face though. It's the upper head looks to be that of a gray, one of your closest associates in the Everdark.
It doesn't look
it's
like
like
a
a
patchwork
flesh.
creature, right? It looks like it's naturally like that.
Well, as natural as a creature from the abyss can
But
be. Yes.
I don't see stitched together. I see
Yes.
perfect
Blending.
evolution.
Yes. She looks down. She looks down at you, and there's this look of recognition and almost pride. And she goes, "Ah, Withany, so glad to meet the child of the Father."
So glad to meet someone who knows of our reputation.
Yes, yes. How do you come to be so far off course, boyo?
Decisions made in assembly, but not followed through.
Ah, good. Good. We have many things to speak of, but first let me tell you, you are currently about 18 points off your course.
I see. Is that number growing?
it can't grow past 18, my son, or you'd be headed back in the proper direction.
I see.
Clarification. Point represent degrees.
Mm-hmm.
10 degrees per point. So 18 points, you are
180%
you're 180 degrees
the
from
wrong
where
direction.
you're going exactly the wrong way from where you need to be.
Yeah. So, might I presume I'm in the presence of the sextant?
Yes, they call me that. My name is more ancient than they know, but you could also call me Siri.
Siri? Hey, Siri. So if someone wants to save that. Ha! Someone's phone.
What was
Yours
your
mine.
name? What was your name?
Siri.
Oh God.
Her name was Siri. That's why I just thought it was funny. The guide is Siri.
That's not her full name.
I can ask some questions. Okay. Well, Siri, if you're willing to, could you possibly share where my destiny does lie?
Sure.
At least a glimmer into it.
Come a bit closer, boyo.
I take a step closer.
She reaches out with her hands, and her hands end in fingers, but each finger is actually little pincers.
Yeah, a little Barbie.
Yeah. And so she's leaning forward. She wants to put her hands on the sides of your head.
Now this won't hurt, will it?
She holds back. She goes, "Do you want the knowledge or no?"
Can I do a quick insight just to make sure she's not malicious with this?
Sure.
11 base,
She okay.
15.
She is malicious. She is not capricious.
I always get that definition mixed up.
So capricious is goat-like, which means stubborn but mean. Malicious is just evil. She's not a good thing, but she is offering you truthful information.
So she's offering me what I asked, but it might have an ulterior motive. Is what
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not capricious. She's not
okay.
whimsical about it. She intends for you to have the information, and it's showing a respect again to the Withany family.
Oh, lovely! It's actually helping.
Oh my gosh.
I'm.
I'm like, this guy. She's like.
Okay,
almost
Kern has
like
never
she
actually
knows.
shown
I
a
know,
care about
I'm
this.
just, I know this is never, but I'm like.
Knowledge is knowledge. The source does not matter so long as it's truthful.
We will continue that.
All right, then I accept
Why are you
whatever
anti,
fate she gives me. So if they want,
No, he just doesn't want corruption. He's thinking.
No,
of
but
it
I'm
as-
like, no, I'm just talking to him.
Yeah.
Like,
So well, I was gonna say I'll accept it if during that time if they still want to keep talking to Bob.
Yeah,
no, he's Bob, so I mean, like, we're fine.
we got to resolve this.
Yeah.
So go ahead. When you step forward into her embrace, you black out, and that I will come back to the actual vision.
So I'm
here
gonna
in a
use the restroom.
minute. Okay, good place, good timing. Okay, I'd rather you have me have to
Look,
come
subscribe to
back.
some
Yeah,
some
exactly.
series eggs.
Nice. She's been doing some series business. All right.
Serious.
Can do we understand that it is that if we're in like a private area on the ship that there's nobody listening, or do we have any kind of
There's no guarantee.
there's no guarantee of privacy?
No. It's a big enough. It's a big enough vessel, though. There'd be enough time that, even in the open air, if you go down to one of the railings and just stand collectively, you'll have basically nobody to listen to you. Doesn't mean that there won't be ears on the wind, but
Well, I mean, the only thing we know right now is that they're trying to fight the others. They're going about it in their own way, but they heard the call, same as you and me. They've done us no harm. The state of our comrade is because of one person, because of the person in our party. They're offering us an opportunity to get off this ship for the other we have. I don't know why we're not taking it.
I'm down with you.
I don't know why we're not taking it.
Well, other than not what she's saying, but we're giving away too much. He's our prisoner.
We're the 4-5 leaders of the now, and we are grossly outnumbered.
Well, once we find the weakness of this thing,
You don't have any weapons. You think they're gonna arm you We've already established that he laughed
No,
at
he
that.
pulls out the cursed blade.
Yeah, but he laughed at you the last time you pulled it out, remember?
Yes, but he can't fly the ship by
But he could be
himself.
bluffing again. Demons all lie.
So, I take it that we rather than trade a prisoner,
A living being.
I'm calling it a prisoner. I'm not humanizing
Can we
something that
vote on
blows the back out of
You
heads.
guys want to just vote on it?
Well, it's 2 and 2. We don't know where did anybody see where Kern went?
Nope.
So none of us know where Kern
Actually,
is.
what's really funny is that he would be the one who could blend into this group because he is actually a sailor, so he'd move like them and everything.
Yeah, so like,
I am the hardest one to locate.
yeah, we don't know where Kern is.
Well, let's wait till.
Well, I
he's out.
prefer to head to this crag to see what this crag is.
We have an entire movement that we've been missing from for a week.
They're fine.
In meta, Gene's going, dude, we went for 7 months away from our hometown, so no big deal.
From home? I got
Well,
the
from
perfect
what we
dice for the
can-
ship.
well, what we can see, they seem to be
Need
organized.
6 though.
Hmm?
There's
Remember-
six dice.
Like 3 days ago,
Fine.
they seem pretty prepared, but
They're
I'm
pretty-
afraid that they will become a
I'll
target.
see if I can find some more.
That's
Check
why
the store, though.
We need to go. Well, this back then. but-
Well, we already know that they're not coming. Whatever their long-term plan is, whatever we discussed as these portals that we know that fiends are trying to build, the information Bob has given us has led us to believe that their priority is to eliminate the other, which is a shared priority in the sense that we have it right now. So rather than make an enemy of somebody and fight a war on two fronts, we have an opportunity to deal with one problem first, which is the other, which is our, and then to deal with whatever's going on with these portals.
Need to deal with the other problem.
But it'll be too late for the other problem.
Portal, which one's the other problem? Portals.
Okay. Also, for clarification, in your transition to monk, the value of life should be higher.
Okay.
So, trading access to him or trading information you've gathered from him, that would be fair. But to actually give over a living being to something you know could literally rip his soul out and put another soul in there,
Mm-hmm.
Is a
that's,
no-no.
that's a bit of a rough.
Well, I had a plan for how to. I had a plan.
So explain
explain
all of
the
that.
Okay,
plan.
but you said that we don't know if we have privacy. That's why I'm afraid to like explain the.
No,
But you're in such a risk that it's worth the risk to
Okay.
try.
Do you have paper?
I was. We have an understanding of the others that they don't. They also, we know that the others take the form of humans. We have
They
piles
take the form of humans. I like that.
we have dead bodies lying everywhere. They don't know what others are, and we have the spacesuit. If we put a dead body in the spacesuit, they could very well believe that's an other. They don't have any concept. They have not met one. They only know them as these billowy big space thingies. I want to give them the suit and say this is how the others are. Once this is what we have. I don't want to give them the
I'm
human.
Okay, so now he's clarifying. I'm not giving away the
Yeah,
human.
but-
That's the part that I think Gene was.
But I
walking
couldn't.
at.
I
Yeah,
can't say anything.
I
Like I had a plan, but I can't say anything because I don't know who's listening. I don't know what's going on. But it's like
Be afraid. Be
but
afraid.
that's-
Be always
that's-
afraid. But
That's assuming a lot. That they don't know what we know.
he doesn't.
He doesn't.
he's already talked to him.
We confirmed it.
Of course, he lies.
But the thing is if we get there and we know that if he balks at the spacesuit, he knows that your people are in them. If he balks at any,
Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
hey man, you throwing barbs all day. I'm throwing barbs all day.
Throw some shade on a shadow vessel.
But he doesn't know what condition we have. We give him I said spacesuit. We give him his armor. His armor would be the
Yeah.
more relative term. We give him the armor with a corpse, and say this is what we have. This is where we've been gathering our
But it's a
information.
Corpse.
Yeah, and this
You
is.
didn't say it was
I didn't.
alive.
Huh?
I think he's expecting a living other.
I never gave any inclination. I said we just been
No,
gathering.
you said you captured.
Okay.
Afterlife doesn't mean he's still living.
No. It makes perfect turnabout is fair play sense for you to tell him that it's real and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, he died in transit."
That
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
fine.
Like he doesn't know what. I mean, you guys we're operating under the assumption he knows all the facts. All he knows from his probably over the top view of not interacting, and he knows they're 20,000 leagues under the sea, but he doesn't know what they're representative outside their armor. So we can give him a husk with a empty vessel.
Where are you gonna get this husk?
No, we already have the husk.
We have
You
the
have
husk.
suit.
It's the suit. We have
Oh,
dead
I
bodies
see.
everywhere. There's a war going on, man. There's a.
Oh,
There's,
That's a good plan.
It's actually not a bad idea.
It's
You're
just-
going, wait, who said that?
it's Bob right there.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
yeah, good job, guys.
If I can
Slowly corrupting.
That's why I was like,
sanctify the body so they can't put another soul in it, I will see what I can
Actually, you would have heard an extra voice because they are all over the place, but it's a Pongit, an ape by the name of Caesar.
does anybody have like a memory spell or anything?
Oh no, I'm good. We're good. I've got close friends that have been messed with by this stuff, and I think they got a hold of one of my, say, younger nephews, Leporine, some time ago.
A leporine, you say?
Yeah.
Yes, there was
Wait, how can you be cousins?
that was changed to some.
Oh, hold on, wait,
Trust
wait,
me.
Don't let him,
Trust me, you
don't
don't
tell
want to
him.
follow this logic too far,
Yeah, let's not tell him his
but the
cousin.
sect gens are
I
related.
whisper you. Let's not tell him his cousin
Oh,
might be
okay, I see.
dead. I whisper you. Let's not tell him his cousin might be
Are you enslaved on this ship?
Oh no, this has been a good job.
dead. So you joined the cause after you heard the call?
No, I've been operating under Captain Sugareth for a really long time.
So how can we trust that you're not going
Captain
to tell him
who?
what I just said?
Sugar off.
Huh?
How can we trust that you're not going to tell him what everything?
Oh,
is?
the rule about telling everything to the captain, that's more of a guideline.
Are you fond of gold? So we can make sure that you're.
Oh, I'm corruptible, but that's not my bailiwick.
What's your bailiwick? A. What's a bailiwick? B. What's your bailiwick?
Hey, what's a bailiwick? Bailiwick. Area of operation.
Okay.
My bailiwick is not gold. Gold does nothing for me. Magic, on the other hand, does. Rumor has it you guys used graveling underwater. So if you've got gravelings, I'll trade you for the gravelings.
How, like 2 or 3 good for you?
Per thing you ask me to do, sure.
Here is 1 graveling to keep our secret, buddy.
2 or 3 I said was the minimum.
Here is 3 of my 4 gravelings to keep our secret.
Should I get rid of my sword?
Oh, you have it?
Cutlass.
Oh, when you pull it out in the present,
Never mind.
you pull it in front of
Never mind.
front of the crewman.
Okay. I know what to do. with
New
this.
captain.
So to keep our secret, here's. Oh, sorry.
So Bob is a first name or something?
No, he's the captain.
Bob's the captain. Bob
Bob's
Sugareth.
the
Bob Sugareth.
Oh yeah, what's your name, bud?
Hmm?
What's your
Caesar.
name? Caesar. Last name.
Caesar Shigareth.
Huh?
Last name.
Oh, I
Family
have,
like that.
I'll learn that. I'll learn that when I get my first command.
Oh. Caesar half ape.
No, Pongit.
Oh, that's what they're called. Pongit.
Pongit.
Pongid.
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 Okay.
P-O-N-G-I-D.
Is do we
You
have
just
an,
said
do we have an
Pongit.
accord on?
We
the-
have an accord. We are.
Okay.
We are.
I kinda laugh at it.
Okay, so once we find Kern,
So, going back
Oh,
to...
by the way, when you do leave the vessel, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. You fine with that? Is your captain fine with that?
What do I care what Cigarette thinks about my life? I
Hold
can't
on.
get my own command if I keep following under a single commander. I've been here for 5 years. Time to start looking for my own
Gotta
command.
look for another commander.
When I can corrupt.
Fine with me.
Are you guys sensing anything off this guy? Because he's technically not like these things are of this earth, so they're not technically abyssal or.
There's
What do you mean not technically? Are you suggesting we might be?
Well, Bob is, and
I'll
you follow
go,
him.
go check on inside.
Well,
Sure.
your boss Bob is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
19.
Yeah, I'm sincere.
okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm sincere.
That's cool. So
Are you sincere?
It's not yes, you could trust me. It's yeah, I'm sincere.
Yeah, I'm sincere. Well, we.
I love that one, John. Yeah, I'm sincere.
Do you want to go to the
I cast
crag?
insight on you. Yeah, I'm
Because
sincere.
we're heading there now. Or do we make the deal
I need to
now?
use that one.
And he turns around and goes all the way back.
I cast insight.
I
Does
kinda
this
wanna
enemy
see
want to
where-
kill me? Yeah, he's sincere.
Oh, we're going to Crag. We're not. You're not getting off the vessel.
He's going to Crag to restock.
But we
But
need
then-
to get off so we can get back to Silk
But when do you need to get off, sister?
as soon as possible.
Sure.
No, I think you don't understand. Let's get to Crag, and then you'll
I'll
understand.
follow.
But does the idea make sense to get our freedom from this ship once we're?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they don't want to let us go.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to let us go once we get to the Crag.
But
We
I
can't
should-
fight our way out.
We don't even know.
Where's
what they do.
Kurt?
Oh yes, yes. It's been.
Why
so
do we have? Why do we
pivotal.
have an ape? And where's Kurt?
Where's Kurt?
Why is it so pivotal that Kern be here now? It's not like
I've
it's
said
Saturday.
where's Kurt like 5 times. So
know.
I'm just like, hey, where the heck is Kurt, guys?
Well, after this little conclave breaks up and the pocket goes back to his work, then you'll find Kern coming back, meandering, doing his usual, pretending to be part of the crew thing. So he's back.
Kern,
Hmm?
you've been missed.
Okay, so stop. Now you go back to it. So, the vision she gives you is of a horrible, horrible gale blowing. Vessel is listing at an extreme angle. You're looking down into the eye, and at the base of the eye is a city. As you are looking down into that, you feel in your hand a weapon, and you turn and look and realize you're holding the cutlass.
Hmm.
You know this because as you're holding it, you feel your physical size becoming shorter, and all of a sudden you're not Kern Withany, but you are a blaze-haired dwarf with skulls, little tiny skulls tied into his beard, that cutlass in one hand and an axe in the other, and the axe has the same kind of arcane runes, and you're leaping about from position on the deck to other position on the deck, deftly, like pure nature, and you're hacking through these basically look like undead or spectral beings, and fighting apparently for control of the vessel. As you swing off the back of the deck, you realize, as you're on the rope swinging around, you realize that someone has hung actual rigging on one of the seed craft, and as you swing around the tail, you see the name of the vessel, Windswift.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up in a pile on the back deck.
On the back of the deck, not in a
Just literally like she dumped you up on the deck.
like. Okay, yeah.
Something brought you up in
And then.
And then you're walking back
I almost ashamedly try to blend in. Oh, Kern.
Yeah, exactly. We've been looking for you.
No, I just said we
Yeah.
missed you.
Where have you been?
Just mingling with the crew.
Any fun thing useful?
I think the Goliath might know more about cards than I give him credit for.
Goliath knows more about what?
Cards.
If of course, you can feel free to tell them anything about the sexton and all that, because that is stuff that they would find out other sources as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you want to tell me that.
Yeah, no.
we don't tell you who it is. Just say that he found it, knows where it
sure.
is. I said all the
Yeah,
stuff about
yeah.
the sexton. You don't have to tell them.
Not
the
the
sexton.
details of.
That they just use the sextant as a guide.
How does it work?
What is it?
I don't quite understand myself, but the crew believes that the sextant knows the correct course. And I think we should trust the sextant, because at the moment, we're not off course.
Is this a person?
Is it something we can steal?
It's
He
not
doesn't,
something
have,
we can
he doesn't
steal.
have to divulge that he actually went to see it.
No,
but
Yeah.
no, I'm just
So
asking.
he's
Is it
just-
something we could steal? Is it something that we could use?
I don't believe it's something that we could steal. From context, it seems like it might be a little encumbersome.
like a person.
We want you to meet Caesar.
Caesar?
Yeah. He is going to be a part of our party in when we get off the ship, ultimately.
Ah.
No, that's not what he said.
Or he's going to come with us when we get off the ship.
When you get off the ship, he's getting off the ship. That's what he said.
So,
Is that a guarantee that he's going to be joining us, or is
no,
he
he's
just
not joining us.
departing
He's just
at the same
departing
time?
at the same
Well,
time.
Also,
It also indicates that he's not going to burn you because he won't be here in the crew
Yeah.
to rat you out after
So
the fact.
I kind of like pull Kern aside just to kind of not be in and
Sure.
tell him what we had discussed and how we decided to go to the crag, and then about giving Bob the armor of the others with a deceased human inside, rather than giving them the actual other themselves.
Impressive. Where are we going to find a deceased human?
I mean, there's a war going on, so I feel like
There are already dead people there.
there's a lot of dead people.
Well, there aren't as many as you'd think. The war has been called for. The only conflicts have been happening in the cities, and so the large
And
numbers of
Selk
bodies
has not
are-
had a conflict yet. That's what Kurd's getting at. Is wonderful. There's conflict, but there's been no casualties that we've seen. So So the question is just what are we gonna?
nothing that a shovel in a graveyard won't fix.
Yeah, we'll figure it.
Yes. Let's start digging up corpses.
Do you think?
I think the religious person might
Caesar,
take offense.
Caesar, do you think when we're making the trade that you can lobby with the captain that you would be our escort to go get the prisoner rather than him coming with us, so we have some time to?
Why would you be doing that?
develop?
Why would you be taking the captain anywhere? Captain won't leave the vessel.
Oh, perfect. So you'll just come with us. Oh yeah. So
I'm not going. No. Okay, I got nothing against your other guy. You can do what you want. I am not part of that.
but are you just?
I am just specifying that when you leave, I leave. I'm just making that clear. I was not even asking permission.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In other words, I'm just telling you I'm an asset that can be burned at the end. You could rat me out if you want to at the end because I won't be here. When
Okay.
you leave, I leave.
Okay. So you got.
Seems most fair.
So we'll have an opportunity to figure out the dead person portion if we're not under as many eyes as we are on this ship.
Again, it depends on when you need to go home.
Yeah. So first things first, we're off to the crag.
Right. So, let's see. As the vessel hoves in on the crag, the first thing you'll notice is that there are probably 75 to 100 craft in the area around. It's a rather busy port. The actual side of the mountain has multiple entries. What's kind of surprising is that it looks like, for lack of a better term, concrete construction has been used to build up the port entries with huge
We have
stone
no,
gantries.
We have no concept of concrete.
Well,
It's
you-
stone.
no.
I-
The point is that as you're approaching, you're going to get to see what is fundamentally concrete. There are these monstrous funnels on the front of the mountain. It looks like they're still constructing, still building the place. And in the top of it, there are bird cages. Remember I told you birds are back. Birds, there must be 20,000 birds inside individual cages. And there are food troughs running along them that are being fed almost constantly from above. Vessels, actually, small skiffs, air skiffs, go up and come up alongside and shovel grain into these augers that move the food around to feed. It's a technological marvel to see in operation. But these birds, their excreta, the bird poop, is basically they're doing the opposite of what you think. Normally, you think of feeding birds millet, but then they also have to walk in the gardens to get pebbles. In this case, they're actually feeding them pebbles. And as these birds, they don't really have teeth, but their lower jaws, the lower part of their beaks are flattened, and they're actually pulverizing the pellets. And with water and a little bit of lime, they're creating concrete. It pours out of the bottoms of the birds into this trough. These odd-looking creatures that look like skinned apes. I mean, they literally, they well, not skinned.
Shaved.
Hairless.
Shaved. They actually look shaved. Their hairs are white. They basically look like small abominable snowmen, for lack of a better term. They're actually a creature known as quaggoth, but they've been shaved, and they're shown no dignity. They're treated horribly. But the quaggoths apparently,
Abominably.
yes, the quaggoths, these creatures that are tending the birds, have some sort of affinity and are able to almost communicate with the birds and direct them when to excrete and when to not excrete to guide this construction. But it's clearly a slave relationship because the quaggoths themselves, in being shaven, is showing them an incredible indignity because it makes their sex organs and everything visible. And there's all kinds of ridicule from the people and such of the city who actually treat them poorly. Matter of fact, you'll find in town quaggoths are used as beasts of burden, as localized slave labor. And
They're
when you finally
pulling
land,
the carts, or they're just the carriages themselves. That sort of setup.
yeah, it's
How tall are they? Like 10, 15 feet tall?
no, they're like 8 feet tall. Not
Okay,
that
so-
much larger, but they are larger. But they are rather dim. They're think of Pluto
Mhm.
from
Popeye.
what's that?
Popeye? Or-
No, Pluto
No,
from
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Oh, Labyrinth.
The big horned guys.
Yeah.
Just imagine white hair and then shave him.
Are they great in number? Like, are we saying?
Yes, they outnumber. They probably outnumber 3 to 1.
Should get a couple of those.
We should probably get them.
Cyber revolution.
Put guns on that.
Anyway, so these creatures are guiding and controlling the birds. The birds are called badigeons.
Badigeons?
Badigeon. And so the quaggoths control the badigeons for the purposes of this, and then once they finish a process, once they finish a building construction, those birds are then killed and sold in the shambles for food because they're highly prolific. And you realize also that some of the mountains around here, as you were coming up, have the same kind of stone-like features but are natural. Basically, the badigeons are indigenous up here, and
Someone's just put a little bit more civilization to them.
yeah, you find out that the person who is running this entire operation, he's sitting in the chair of captain of captains, is Sea Prince number 1.
So they all have blind
Do we get the name? So sequence number 1 is
Yes, it is.
Sequence
I have-
number 1.
Brandon Brad.
yeah.
No,
That's him.
sorry. Taryn Geesh.
Yes.
Taryn
Tarun
Geesh.
Geesh.
Tarun.
Tarun Geesh.
And Tarun Geesh has as his chief advisor a gnome. Now, this gnome actually is of the Tink culture
Oh, nice.
and has developed for the crag a special, I guess you'd call it, cult within the Tink gnome culture that makes them very civilized. They're very much into cities, so they wear really fine clothes, wear lots of belts, buckles. Think Michael Jackson in miniature, little tiny Michael Jacksons with all the little buckles and zippers and all of that, all in gold. All their stuff is really flashy. They're known as the metronomes.
Ah. Do they repeat a lot?
No, but the town does run like clockwork.
So it's in perfect tune.
Not only that, and near the top of the mountain, there are about 3/4 of a mile of parallel metal bars. They're just running 2 pair for the length of the face of the mountain in a hemisphere, and sitting on those 2 is a craft, for lack of a better term. It has a kind of a cow catcher on the front and a huge steam exporting stovepipe on the front of it. Very, very, lots of gears and metals. You know what I'm talking about. It's sitting there. The port side doors are all open, and they're moving cargo in and out at a
Was it
rather
the same
frantic pace.
steam side wheeler that came up, paddle wheeler that came up while we were on the island?
No. Good thing you mentioned that. No, this is instead of being a paddle wheeler like that, the monstrous wheels that are being turned are sitting on the rails.
Oh.
Literally looks like a
A rail
steam
car.
engine, steam train, about 6 cars long.
Yeah, but all it does, it goes around and around.
No, it doesn't even go around. It's got a half a track. Literally, it's got a beginning and an end of the track. And right now, it's sitting with its basically the butt car is at the very back of the track.
Oh, they're in the process of building it?
Well, you get to see. By the time you guys get docked, the thing will actually launch. You'll hear this tremendous screaming whistle. Steam will blow out of that smokestack like nobody's business. The wheels will start to spin, and before it reaches the end of the track, the entire thing vanishes.
She will make sure to use prestidigitation on you guys.
Portal-like or just-
And herself.
With a good thing you mentioned that. With a crack of thunder and a flash of lightning in that order.
Crack of lightning.
Impressive.
With what?
It's just gone. Gone. The track is empty.
Flash of lightning.
Huh.
Think, matter of fact, a great example would be straight out of 2. Is it 2 or 3?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, where he shows up with a steam engine.
Yeah.
The end of 2, right?
I think it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Except,
2.
it's the end of 2,
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
because he has taken
I
back.
don't think this
The cowboy.
table is level.
It's probably not. Pretty close, though.
Oh, I put it over here.
The plastic could be warped.
Yeah, the plastic's probably the one that's warped. That or sense of humor is off.
Is there any way for me to kind of see what kind of, like, if it's some sort
I
of
was just
type of
pretending
portal?
like I'm moving it.
No portal.
You
No
moving
portal.
it
No,
with
it
your
literally there's a
So
huge
nothing
pile of
opens up,
steam.
it
The
just
steam is
cracks.
covering the entire train, right? Because the steam's shooting out of the pipe at the beginning. So the only thing that is not in the storm inside of the cloud by the time it reaches the end of the track is the cow catcher on the front, the shiny metal cow catcher, and there's like a flash of light, not quite a bolt of lightning. There's a crack of thunder. It's no longer there, and then there's a flash of light.
And from our vantage point, I couldn't see what they're loading in. It was really high up.
Cases and crates of stuff.
Cases and crates.
Things
Go
that
ahead
are-
and make an investigate. I know it'd be just a perception, because there really wouldn't be a way to tell because you're not on the ground to see the labels or anything like that.
16.
Do you know something?
There were long and thin boxes and also low flat boxes and
Boxes.
several that were on
Hey,
wheels.
What's your last
Crates.
name? I need to make you a name thing. You could have probably saved one of those. Eggless what?
So it appears we're about to dock.
Right now, when you dock, as you're docking, the captain says Eglith.
Spell it.
Eglith.
Pretty
Eglith.
nice printed letter.
Doesn't recognize his name anymore. Eglith.
Eglith. You said
You're
your
with
name
me.
like 4 times.
Bob's been calling your name for a while.
Oh, sorry.
No, and it kind of makes sense. You just no longer recognize the name. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, okay. He says, you're with me. The rest of you are commanded to remain on the vessel. Any departure from that without my permission, you will be flogged. Got it?
Like killed?
We are guests
No,
on your
flogged,
ship.
beaten.
Like, yeah.
Oh, beat up?
Beaten.
We will be violently beaten.
I try to appeal to him and be like, where are we going?
You're staying aboard ship. That's where you're going.
I mean,
This
what
is
if
a trade
we're in
room.
the crag once in how long? Ever?
You're
Can't go
not.
out exploring?
You're not deported. No, you're not departing.
But he's leaving the ship.
Yep. So if there's anything you want or need, tell Eglith, and Eglith can bring it back.
I want to go back home.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll deal with that after we get back on board.
Do you need a nickname too or no? That's how you spell it.
There, thank you. I will make you a name tag so if you have a bad roll and you
Crossbow?
have a chance of rolling again.
This is yours. So
Eglith,
you guys want
purchase a couple hand crossbows if you can.
some?
Oh yeah, that would be great.
That's what I was saying.
Hand
Some
crossbows.
special orders? Like a
3.
hunter's crossbow?
Crossbow quality,
Yeah.
magic if you can find it.
You guys have like any
McGregor
enchanted,
brand.
Like,
Silver swords.
Unfortunately,
Silver bolts.
unfortunately, in this
Oh, yeah, stuff for
in the now,
attack with-
there aren't
Yeah,
any
he's gonna let you buy it.
permanent magic items yet.
Unless
Nope, there's just none.
there's one.
Shh, nobody knows it.
Nobody knows it.
Exactly. We don't know.
Now, there are ancient items that occasionally are.
You're not going to find them for sale in the open market.
No, oh no. People get them. People.
All right, so
So I got a list.
yeah, and coming onto the crag is kind of like going to Disneyland as far as things to see, wonders to partake in.
And we're not going in. Look, it's Disneyland. You can't go in. Aww. how to tease the children.
Exactly. You can hear the music, see the magic, the
As soon as
flashes of light, the
I was gonna
fireworks
say,
at night.
let's bribe the whole crew and take the ship, but then we forgot about him.
as soon as I see him out of sight,
Yeah.
I'm used to being in pain because of the whole monk training I went through. I'm like, I flip the bird to him off in the distance and leave the ship. I'm like,
You flip a bird?
A bedigion?
I flip a petition to him. and I leave.
Bedigion poops in your hand that's stuck that way permanently. Your mom warned you.
Never flip a petition. He'll get stuck like that.
Yeah, I don't mind the flogging as long as it's for information.
Okay. Is anybody going with him? Are we all going to make an off-board expedition
You guys should
and hope you get back before he does,
I'm not
and the
going,
vessel leaves
I'm not
without you?
going. I'm not going far. I'm literally just going into the harbor to ask questions to the folks, get some information about the crag.
Can I buy sanding stones or
Sure.
where we're going? Okay.
But you'd have to come back and give it to me before I leave.
No, I'm just saying like for later on.
Yeah. Sure. You got money?
Yeah, I got one.
How much you got for spending singing stones?
5 gold. No.
No.
Yeah, I'll let you use one for that.
Let me buy
Hello. Can you hear me? See, that's good enough. That's good.
Yeah, I just
That's one of the ancient items. Those aren't made right now.
yeah, I'm not going far. I legitimately just want to explore the harbor a little bit and then get back to the ship.
Probably just get
Just ask some questions.
No.
So you're just thumbing your nose at the captain.
Yeah, I just want to.
But is everybody going with you?
In the immediate harbor, does it look like there are stalls with things for sale?
There's stuff. There's shambles along the docks. Yeah.
Okay. I'll put on a disguise kit.
Yeah,
A
put on
little
this.
bit.
Actually, it's funny. He puts on his guy's kid and walks right by them because it wouldn't matter anyway because he looks like a crewman. So they don't even. You and your pirate costume with the bright colors. Your
I'm
eye
not going-
patch with the cross, all the
I
crossbones on it.
imagine what's it called? The things that sometimes people put on like the teeth to make them look black.
Yeah,
like,
the blackout on his
the
tooth.
blackout on
Black,
his tooth.
black.
I'm not putting on my pirate's costume. I'm literally just tapering it down, less extravagant, to something along the side. More of some of Kern's excess clothing. I kind of put on. I don a Kern look.
He finds one.
My spare excess clothing is that costume that you have.
So I look more like Kern, knowing that he kind of hoodwinked me the last time.
You
How
pick-
dare you put on Kern face?
No, you pick up your clothing and you like pick up his shirt and have to sniff the underarms. Yeah, it smells enough like him.
You be careful, please.
Alrighty, so the two of them are gonna leave,
I'll
and
just stay with Tiara.
okay, so the
And
two of
then
you.
just
You can still talk to
observe-
the crew and
Oh,
ask
yeah.
questions about.
Can you leave? Can you make a noise if you see the captain coming off in the distance? And
With the amount of noise coming off of this, there is no way, unless you have a bosun's whistle and have a specific call, you have no way to know what's going on. Yeah, won't work. There's enough birds and weird noises going on.
okay,
The problem with a commerce trade point like this, there is literally every kind of thing being
I
traded.
look at Kern. I
Well, he
say,
has a torch. He could probably just light the
No, there's light.
I dropped it all.
It's been a week.
No, it's been weeks.
Oh.
No, you're whatever you had would have dried out by now. But
Well, all that was in my pack.
Oh, yeah,
so
it's gone, yeah.
It's at the bottom of the ocean right now. So
Of the bay.
bang.
I just look at Kern and say, 10 minutes. Very quick in and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quick job.
all right.
Or you guys could tell me and I could stop.
So I'll come back to you last because
Still
you're gonna have
unsure about you.
you're gonna have the
Otherwise-
biggest amount of information.
Go-
so I'm
go
gonna go with
ahead,
the two of
take
you
as
on
much
board
time as
first.
you
What
need.
kind of stuff do you want to ask the crew about Craig? Because you can gain information about the place. Because they'll talk a lot more freely if the captain's not on board. The ones that are here are grumbling because they didn't get shore leave, so they're having to.
I see.
So feel free to ask any questions you want about Craig, about Pirates Council, or whatever you want to ask.
That's all I need.
Are we together then?
Charge
We're
of
just
it
gonna
all.
stick together.
Well,
So
The first
I look
prince
normal,
is
you look
uh,
like me. So I'm just look.
the first. Well, yeah, this is his player, if you will.
I'm just, I'm
And
legit
he
gonna.
accepts Bob as
I don't think that's wise, but
Bob became captain the way anybody else
of
becomes captain.
increasing value.
Challenge and take over.
perhaps we could
He's a pirate by the definition. The fact that he's he's from another plane doesn't stop anything. Hell, your old friend Dobro used to be a member of the Seven Princes.
First rule of lie.
Dobro Withany.
okay.
We know that.
Yeah. I actually want to do something.
He was a loyalist to the member to the Solmani
Because we have one, yeah.
Brotherhood. He's a member of the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Scarlet.
Are they going to take part in helping us free ourselves of the others?
This was some careful wording. So
Well, as far as I know, all of the free captains of the world have pretty much thrown allegiance behind that concept. But as far as helping you, I don't think so. What are you, lubbers?
is a lot more important.
Yep.
That's true. This is the first, the second
long as it's
vessel
not
I've
Lynn's.
ever been on, and
So
the first
long as
one
our
that
bodies are
flew.
and our eyesight remains the
It is
same.
most intriguing.
Well, I want, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, well, I want to keep.
Anything else you want to know?
Do you know that thing that just occurred up in those rails?
Oh,
Do you know what that is? Never seen that before.
oh yeah, that's the weekly.
The weekly?
Yeah,
Weekly what?
cargo transport from then.
The pronoun game.
From where?
From then.
What's then?
Then
Then.
THEN.
What's then?
depends on how far back it went.
It's not the now.
Time travel.
How far back in time?
Well, how else would a vessel like that travel?
I don't know, since I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, neither had we.
And then it
How
came.
long has
till
it
till
been
till,
here?
till Mavu Imports got it built.
Oh, okay.
Damn Mavu.
What are they shipping, or what are they carrying?
Depends on depends on when they're headed.
So they-
Weapons, food, supplies. Sometimes armies,
and it takes
advisors.
and it takes it back to some other time.
Yes, always back, never forward.
But it comes back to here. Does it not?
But does it? That's always the question.
You mean it's not there? But we can see it? How can it not be there when it's there?
It's not there. It's back then.
Do I mistakenly, or is there not the thing that you were talking about? up
He's not
there?
here.
That image stone that this shop is selling.
Ugh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's almost
It's
like
not
you're natural.
I thought he was kind of with the three of us. Okay.
No, he actually went with the captain.
That's right, the captain dragged you off.
Eglith dragged him off. I mean, he dragged Eglith off.
Bob.
Do I
Drag.
not see the thing up there?
No, you only see the rails.
Oh,
But we did see the whatever.
You watched it vanish.
Yeah.
You watched it leave.
so it left to some other time.
No, it just left now.
Then.
Just left.
Do you know who receives? Just the people. Do you know is there contract?
Maybe it's like Santa Claus, only the good people. I don't know.
Who?
No,
You just. I just work here, okay?
exactly.
I have a lot of information, but I just work here.
Well, I don't watch stuff.
Yeah.
Who? What?
He
when,
says
where,
he says I do have a second iteration coin, but I'm not allowed to bring it out while we're in port.
What is that? Second iteration coin?
Oh, here you go.
No, I can't show it to him.
Okay,
Well, we're
you
in port.
can't show us, what is an iteration?
Iteration.
What is an iteration?
Framework of time. The cycle. The grand cycle.
It's the coming of an age.
1,500 years from beginning to end.
Coming of an age.
And then what?
And then it ends and we start again.
That's not how it should be.
Soul coin.
That's what we start.
Screams.
You start making is iteration
Oh.
coins with the numbers on them.
Listen again. Daylight come and we one go home.
Says I'm in there.
Anyway, I'll show you when we leave port. I can show you the coin.
Okay. I
I'm
would
very interested
appreciate
in
that.
Eglath's journey.
Time in a cycle that repeats. It seems all wrong.
It's called a calendar.
No, because years advance.
Well, you're not technically talking to him.
I
Yeah,
know.
he's also not.
It's a voice in your head.
He's not there.
Technically, calendar. Okay.
Right, so two of you off onto the dock. Go ahead and make your first stealth check to get off port. You get
disguises. Okay, I was about to say, does he?
I put
he
a
does-
disguise on too. I put
Do
on
you
a
have
perk.
proficiency in disguise?
Yeah, I have a disguise kit.
Okay.
is this deception or
And I don't get advantage, you said, or
You do.
do?
Okay. So, yeah.
Is this
21.
just flat rolls or is this
Modified by your skill and
by
yeah.
proficiency bonus?
Yeah.
All right. So 22 to me.
Okay.
And that is
It's just your proficiency bonus of plus
21
2.
to me.
Yeah, no problem. You guys.
You got a 19.
Oh no, 20 to me. Oh, it's not
You guys are now walking down the down the dock, and I imagine with-
Making our
with
way
your-
down, Doc.
No, I'm you guys are both doing the John Travolta strut as you're walking. You're like, yeah, I'm out doing the captain right now. Yeah. Point at the girls.
Oh gosh, the
gun thing.
Tobey Maguire in the
Spider-Man.
Yes,
Spider-Man movie.
exactly. Well, that's based on the.
Yeah, Saturday Night Fever.
Exactly.
That's what it's more well known for. That's a late.
So, what did you want?
Let's check out the stalls.
wares.
Let's see if they've got some interesting wares to
Well,
sell.
the first thing is there's all kinds of interesting foods. Something called tsu-chi.
Sushi.
Is it made of fish or birds?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there's fish, but one of them is actually called the capon, and it's basically squid on a stick.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, octopus on a stick.
I would.
I was actually gonna say,
even though I'm.
we got some sushi. Might as well see if they got some. I can't.
Well, I'm not.
I don't want to just drop the name right now. I don't really.
What's it?
I always have a hard time pronouncing it. Takoyaki.
Takoyaki.
Battered octopus chunks, deep fried.
Oh, sure, calamari.
No,
Kinda. It's a ball and it's got like mayo
yeah,
and stuff and
yeah,
other mixings
sure.
inside. But yeah.
They
Sure.
put 'em on sticks.
Sure.
Have a little revenge.
Kind of hungry right now.
Huh?
Kind of hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
Are
well,
we actually making you hungry?
I don't.
Sushi's so
I
good.
don't know if we have time to eat. Do we see any like?
Well, the nice part about that is
It's all hand
street
food. It's all street food.
But we don't have anything to break up. We're running around here with larger pieces of coin here. I mean, I have nothing.
What do you mean you have nothing but larger pieces? I pull out a copper.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, that covers both of you, of course. 'cause-
Exactly. Two takoyakis are basically the price of bread.
So yeah, do we? Are there any?
There's girls on the corners.
No, I'm good.
Girls.
You don't know what
girls.
you'll
There's
pick
boys
up.
on the corners.
After seeing
There's
seeing,
boys dressed like girls. on
after,
the-
after seeing the hairless apes, I'm like, I'm good.
One night in Bangkok
I'm good.
makes a hard man humble.
Are there any like what were you looking for?
Let's see if we can find maybe a little trade thing for various tools, weaponry, and all that stuff.
Yes, but all of it will be like sailors' things. So there'd be, if you need to get a gaff or
Nice gaffing hook.
some rope.
Are there
No harpoon guns.
Yeah, are there any underwater
Oh,
weapons?
there's hand harpoons.
Is
Like,
that
they're
basic?
like the size of a lance.
And-
Used for killing whales.
Is there any way to make this smaller?
No, you have to go inland for the actual weaponry. We're not a weapon shop. We're just a supply shop for the sailors.
How much is the harpoon gun?
Actually,
Not a harpoon gun. It's just a
Harpoon
harpoon.
launch. Oh, harpoon.
No, it's just hand. It's a hand harpoon
It's a spear.
with
A
a
rope
sharp.
and barbed-
It's just because I said
barbed
it's a gun
The
first. So
stick in
when
and-
you said harpoon, I thought you were
So
saying
you
it was
pull,
a
it
harpoon
doesn't pull out.
Yeah,
launcher or
no.
something.
is there any is there anybody around? We're actually looking to get on the because nobody knows who we are. We're actually looking to sign up on Captain Bob ship. Is there anybody around?
What, you want to volunteer?
So what's the deal with it?
What's this vessel's name?
Um,
What's ship's registry? I mean, my goat voice.
we're just trying to learn more, and somebody.
I need to know the ship's. I need the ship's registry. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I have it written down.
I don't know if I should.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can share it.
It's the ramshackle.
Ramshackle.
You go volunteering for the ramshackle?
We're trying to get out. We're trying to do our part, and we're somebody.
Do your part?
Yeah, you didn't hear the call if you.
Of course we heard the call, but why in God's earth would you sign on the ramshackle?
Well, we don't know, so we're just trying to.
Who are you selling?
So we don't know much about the ship support, but somebody brought up Captain Bob's ship. Can you tell
Why
us-
would they? Somebody hates you.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit about Bob's ship?
Yeah, it's a slaver,
Oh, okay.
but it's a slaver by proxy.
Okay.
By what?
Proxy.
So you pretty much offer up somebody to serve your.
Yeah, but
sentence.
it's darker than that. Bob doesn't deal in coin.
What does he deal? Souls?
Yeah.
Slaves.
Why would you jump to that? You must know more than you say. Bit of a
You hear
shill there.
rumors.
Yeah, I can't help without actually telling you that Egla's soul was the purchase price for the Monster Hunter. That's the out of game meta
Knowledge.
of that situation.
So to put somebody's soul up, to put somebody's soul up in proxy, I was like,
Oh, just tell them who they are and give them their name, location. Then their soul is assigned a closet until it is.
But if we're
retrieved.
volunteering, we would be
Volunteering, I
Yeah.
said,
If there's
not
a-
on Bob's vessel.
Is there any way to get off Bob's vessel?
Yeah, pay the ransom.
So another payment of another soul.
No. Save Bob's life. Do a task for some other greater force from outside the plane.
What if
They barter together all the time.
what if we did a task for one of the princes?
Yeah, that would do it.
I wander off.
You're like, I don't want to know anymore.
Oh no, I'm just eating the last bit, and I'm just like, and I don't care.
Would there be another ship that you say? I mean, we're still looking for a ship. Is there somebody that doesn't?
Oh, if I were you, I'd be serving on the Valiant. Valiant's boarding right now, headed for the capital, Keldrick. They're heading for Keldrick right now, going to try to retake the place.
Okay, that's a lot of great information. We appreciate it. What was your name?
Oh, Throckmorton.
Throckmorton. Appreciate it, Throck. Thanks for letting me know that I don't want to go on the ramshackle.
Yeah, that would be just crazy.
Great, but yeah, good to know. Good to know. I depart. Okay.
So you'd already wandered off.
Yep.
Make a
If it's to track me, it's survival. If it's just to notice
Survival
I'm
check.
gone, it's perception. At 2.
Yeah, you walk outside and you can't even see him. There's he looks too much like everybody else. Remember, so
Well, I start walking back to the ship then.
okay.
So yeah, I'm just walking around, seeing if I notice anything that catches an eye.
Yeah, you just saw.
Everything.
Well, no, you just saw after you left there. 2 cases of weapons, marked 4I, being loaded onto a small, insignificant-looking, steam-powered balloon.
Did I by any chance get to see what the weapons were, or were they all sealed?
Yes, because when they got to the edge of the boat, the captain, this rather stodgy-looking dwarf with a hat that itself looked like a steam pipe, and a straight length pipe in the corner of his mouth,
Meerschaum.
puffing away. No, not a meerschaum, no curve, just straight pipe.
Mm-hmm. He checked.
He ordered the boxes open, and it's a shipment of halberds, black. And the thing that cuts your ears, he says, taking these to Banbury.
I don't think Kern knows much about Banbury's going-ons.
No,
Yeah, so,
but you know the name because Banbury's close to home.
yes, it's somewhat close. Interesting. I just think to myself as I continue on.
The name of the vessel, Hog Bubble.
Hog Bubble. Wonderful. If we need some weapons, let's raid Hog Bubble.
All right, you and Captain. He sends most of the crewmen off to do things. And he says, so, we've got a business to do. Pulls out a small, it's on a chain on his neck, a bunch of little lanterns. He lifts one of the lanterns up, and as soon as he shows you the lantern, for half a second, you're inside the lantern looking up at yourself.
Myself?
Mm-hmm. He says, now, I know you were a price paid, but a price paid should have a chance to earn itself back. You do a job for me, I'll give you back your soul.
What's the job?
Oh, it's really simple. I need you to be my insurance that I get the other that I want.
So guarantee you the other?
Yes. So if your friends are planning something that would take him away from me, tell me now, and I'll give you back your soul. Because I can play with the truth, but I can't play with falsehood. So you want your soul back. You tell me their plans.
We weren't gonna do that after all, right?
Don't ask them. This is you're stuck on the. This is you role playing with me.
Oh, it's
They're
you.
not here. Yeah, just you and
We
me.
ain't here.
So, do you remember what their plan was? That's the first question. Don't have to answer me about what it is, but do you remember what their plan was?
Vaguely.
Okay. Were they going to give me the other?
They were planning to.
The actual other, I'm going to get a chance to have the very being that they captured. Now I have to make an insight check. Because you were there in the conversation and you know that's not true. Okay. He just kind of shakes his head and says, well, I have to admire your tenacity. And because you're a truthful man, I'll give you another chance. In 365 days. He puts the necklace back in his collar. Now, whatever you want to do shopping-wise, feel free to do. I'll meet you back at the ship. Because I know you'll be back.
Okay. So, yeah, I was thinking about getting him something, because he threw his weapon and I threw my shield.
Yep, so you're going to go replace the stuff that you lost?
Yeah, and then I want to buy something else too. I want to buy, intestines of like a sheep or something. So, because what I want to do is if we don't have the potion, we could fill it with air or like with water, or like we could just use it for different things.
Like he's talking.
He's
like
trying to make a
bubble.
bladder, kind of.
If you want air bladders, we have those.
Oh, you have them already? I don't have any on me.
No. I'm saying I'll sell you. I'll sell you an actual finished, prepared
Oh, okay.
bladder. You don't have to actually try to do the barbaric
working
thing on your own.
Hey man.
I can hear you buying. I'm buying a goat and gutting it.
And I
What?
bought Goat intestine. I was like, nice.
No. Yeah, we've got yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I want to get one for everybody and then get replacement weapons, shield and then the crossbow.
Okay.
And they didn't say anything else.
Shield, crossbow, anything else you want?
We don't have to worry about food, right?
You can buy anything you want here.
I want to get a pitcher of beer.
Only a pitcher.
You have
The amount of money you got, you can buy a keg.
I'll bring 2 kegs.
2 kegs.
Let's get the monk
Right.
drunk.
Getting those back on board might be a little tougher. So you
But
can
I'm,
you get some skins. Fill those new skins you got with beers.
Yeah.
So you come back on. You're going. I'm carrying. This is sustenance. Yeah, that's okay.
We're still alive. So we're going to celebrate.
Okay.
I just communicate what was told to me by the harbor master or whatever he was about.
Throckmorton, just a merchant.
Yeah. Okay. Just saving his life.
Well, you guys are back on board.
Oh, okay, because I thought you said he was back on board.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I brought beer for everybody.
What happened?
I
No,
was
he
trying to find.
he was trying to
hand
find out some
crossbows
things.
Yeah. Okay. You can get that stuff. You got dough.
He is.
Yeah.
I got to.
So go ahead and make your shopping list. Whatever you'd like to get.
Go ahead.
You had to go closer to town than he wanted to go, so he
Yeah.
won't ever be able to find you because you're
Oh,
already.
I'm perfectly fine. I think I'm pretty good with flogging.
I was just trying to get information.
Yeah.
Little devil horns with that smile, by the way. Can I borrow a piece of paper from someone?
You don't keep my notebook that I keep giving you every
We need to let him
I
finish
had it,
telling
so-
us what he
I
found
keep
out.
giving it to you, and then
Let me
you
double
leave
check.
it here.
I thought I didn't see it.
At least to us.
Oh, yeah.
So what did the captain want?
He basically wanted give me a chance to get my soul back if I did something for him. But I chose not to betray the team.
Wait,
Your soul.
He has your soul.
Yeah, pretty much. He has it like in a little thing around his neck.
Oh, he has it on.
So, who are you?
See where
I don't
I
even
really
know.
wanted him to tell me.
To be honest, I don't know. All I know is I remember I used to be something else.
But obviously.
Yeah, he just actually says that. I don't know what I am.
I'm just like sitting here. Don't tell Lucius
Yeah,
that.
I know,
Don't. We're buying
There's
hand
no way I could
crossbows.
focus
but hopefully,
this.
like you.
Yeah, you could try to focus it.
Do I know that part about a soul put back in?
You know what a phylactery is, yeah?
Yeah.
Or a magic jar.
So he just tells us every.
Like
Can,
it's like a.
Hey, no, he flat out told you.
It's
Hey,
like
your
a
ability lets you do what?
The primeval
a magic
awareness,
jar.
Primeval awareness.
just-
You're going to be
That's
aware of the
the
captain, and you're not going to be aware of him.
so he's like, I don't get anything from.
Right. He's a spirit living inside of a body. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I tell them that I found out that if we save the captain's life, or this, and I tell them about this ship running on the proxy of another person's soul. So it's soul slavery by proxy. So somebody had to offer you or us. So the four of us technically are here as almost as captives.
And that reference does let you know that reason for his change was because he said he made a deal.
Mm-hmm. So you, the four of us are here as
Which
captives.
irony is that means that he technically should be allowed to leave the ship anytime he wants.
Exactly.
So the captain lied to him.
Mhm.
But wait, what did he
We
teach you?
make no deal.
Demons lie.
Demons lie.
Yeah.
Do I read them as undead?
Sure. No,
Good.
No, just kind of hollow, like you were explaining.
Perfect.
no, he's a spirit living inside a body.
So I will
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
If that's all good.
Okay.
and then I tell,
that's all
Yeah,
good.
there's something wrong with them.
and I tell you guys that the Valiant is making a march on the
Make it a
capital.
condition.
Another,
what?
the Valiant, another airship is marching on the capital to fight the others.
Making that technical term would be a sortie.
Sortie. So we have all of, and he wears your soul around his neck.
Yeah. He has a bunch of other ones. So he's
Ding,
been doing
ding,
this for a
ding.
while.
I said, "There's another key." He's got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Now you know the joyfulness of the crew is they give away people they didn't like.
So the four of us technically aren't bound to this ship in any way, shape, or form. But we can.
You're like, we could leave.
We're captives.
You're captives,
We're captives, but we're not bound to it.
right?
Like we haven't bartered any deals. We haven't struck any accords. He's
Well,
just
one of you has.
One of us have.
by proxy.
Yeah, no, one of us has.
Yeah. So.
But he's not bound to the ship, is he?
No, we're just captives.
He sort of is because his soul has been paid.
Yeah.
Just tell me when I get back.
You're back. I told you that.
Oh no, because I was out longer than.
No, you were only longer. You were only physically longer than him.
Okay, I
The
wasn't.
captain and crew was out for a lot longer, so therefore
Okay.
he got back after, so you were all on board.
All right. I was just gonna say, like, if I noticed the
I
captain was
say
there
we
before
make
me,
a
I was
break
just
for
gonna
it and try
take
for
a
the
crate
prince's
up the
ship
gate.
and ask for
Like-
asylum.
What's that?
She says, I think we make a break for the captain, the prince's ship and ask for asylum.
You're on board a prince's ship.
I want the prince's ship.
Oh.
Or this other ship, the Valiant, which is at least going to Brandon. But
No,
with-
the Valiant's going to the capital.
Yeah, it's going to.
It's going to war.
Caldred, or whatever the capital of Fulcrum.
Okay, but at least that's closer to home.
It's going.
It's closer to home than this one.
Hogbubble was going near home.
Hog bubble?
Yes.
Challenge the captain.
Oh, can we make it there?
Hogbubble was going to Banbury.
Yeah, but we are leaving his soul, guys. Like you, like 5 minutes ago, didn't want to swap souls. We're leaving our comrade's soul with the abyssal,
Mm-hmm.
a soul that he didn't even barter away.
Okay.
You should be really up in arms right now. By the way,
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
like, you should legit be like,
He-
we with Mr. No Deals.
Yeah, no, he's got to do something. That's why he's saying
Wagging
challenge.
my finger.
We challenge the captain.
But to what? We don't know what hurts him. I'm saying
I do know.
your sword.
Yes, this curse, the magical weapons.
Magical weapons hurt.
Because I did hunter's sense on it.
Yeah, you already did that.
So
Okay.
Oh, by the way, here's a case with 20 crossbow bolts in it.
thank you.
Well, I know how much you
Oh,
love the crossbow.
Fucking Caesar. Piece of shit was gonna try to get off this ship by offering up one of our souls or something.
Just a moment.
What?
Wait a minute. If we take the ship, that means it's ours. We can leave here.
What?
Exactly.
We can take the ship with us. It might really help.
And we can just take all the souls he has and
I was
ask
just gonna
the
try.
crew if they want to join.
I was gonna say,
Release?
Yeah, like, no, I mean, we can.
Current.
Option.
Well, I think
Get
we
your own
can take
ship.
them to the priest in Silk.
Want a flying
And he
ship?
can let us know what to do with
That'd
it.
be nice.
I was gonna say, you at that knife. Either way,
It's a cutlass.
dude, I hand to hand and bow staff. I don't know weapons. Let's. I mean, I'm down, and I can even if you distract him long enough. Kern and I are. I mean, I'm not gonna offer Kern, but I can go in there. I can steal stuff. I can try to get those souls off of his neck.
Yeah, so I was thinking you just wait for him to go to sleep and just steal it, like one of you guys.
I don't think he's sleeping.
No, but I'm saying when you fight him, if he's distracted enough, we can try to get those as. If you want to challenge him, he has the souls, and we might have to fight him too, if they're at his command. So I want you to be in the very present sense that he might turn on us.
Who's our best fighter? Or shall we just...
Everybody points at the crossbow.
Wait on.
The guy
The guy
who's
who
sharpening
doesn't have a
his-
crossbow.
Or
Yeah.
do we just play down
He has a
and
crossbow
dirty?
now. He brought him a
He
crossbow.
needs to die.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
And we
Okay, I
all
wasn't
do.
sure.
Well, we don't have any weapon. None of us have. I mean, you two could potentially with the magic.
Oh, he unloads. He says, "No, I got a crossbow for him, and
Yeah,
got a
we give
shield
him
for
the
me."
magical stuff.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
magical weaponry. There are only two. She has.
Well, somebody told you that the arrow tips were magic.
Are the
The
gold
gold
gravelings?
arrows?
Is
Check
that
them
magic?
out.
What's that?
The gravelings explosion?
So,
The gold
Lucius,
arrows.
The gravelings
Oh,
are
so-
magic.
Lucius,
You could just tie
what
them
kind
to
of
your
crossbow
bow.
do you have on you right now?
Just the light crossbow he
Yeah,
gave
the
him.
light crossbow.
Ah, goody, goody. I'll trade you.
For what?
The nice little dagger on your hip there for the contents of this bag.
I do not have a dagger on my hip.
I'm alluding to the
Cutlass. The cutlass and the brace on your back that you're keeping.
Because I see no way of getting away from them. This is one of our best chances if we wanted to make a break. But you're right. I don't really want to leave his soul here for what he might do. So that means we have to confront the captain and take it down. And I'm sorry, all's fair and war
Do you trust me, Lucius?
when it comes to
I do,
fighting
but
demons.
I mean. So we're
so crossbow. All right, I'll hand out.
So I'm just saying for your cutlass, I'll give you what I have right
Oh
here.
yeah, the cutlass.
Yeah, for the cutlass, I'll give you what I have here.
So you're gonna give the magical cutlass to him. The cursed magical cutlass.
What's going on here?
Nice
Yeah,
little gift to
you
get out.
guys are talking. All of a sudden, he's pulling out the crossbow, the cutlass.
Hey, I thought you were fighting him with that cutlass.
Well, he might be better skilled.
Remember,
I have no
we
idea.
have,
So are you, yeah, you're better skilled. I don't care. I mean, the
Well, I
blind
can't give you the
samurai-
cutlass
I don't
'cause
use
you-
weapons. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
speak weird languages. Can't give him the cutlass. 'cause
Okay,
he's
who?
a hollow
Everybody
person.
raise their hand if they sold their comrade's soul to the devil. Oh, can you raise your hand, please?
All right, I'm giving because
Okay, there
I've
we
been
go.
wanting to get rid of this to an extent.
Whoever in our party sold a
Yep.
soul of somebody else.
So
There's a hand crossbow in there.
okay.
which is no use to you.
No, it actually is a lot of use to him.
Okay, so
What?
are you
With the
fighting?
exception
More
of
points of
nothing
damage?
magical.
So you're fighting the
except
captain?
for my spells.
Say again, I'm fighting Gavin.
But
You're
you
the
don't
one that has
have
a magical weapon.
then.
I do have spells,
Jesus Christ.
So more people will attack him with magic.
which Coney
Okay,
probably
you
done
guys
three
are operating
times.
under the assumption Kern's gonna fight.
He wants a ship.
That's not a ship.
He's got his dad's ship when his dad
He
dies.
has a bunch of ships. Why do you guys assume that he's poor? He's the richest guy here. You just gave. I'm like livid right now. What the hell just happened? What is? I
doesn't
love
matter.
Kern, but we were in the market together. The dude couldn't hang around for 5 minutes and disappeared into the crowd.
We'll see how this plays out.
How is that going to help us if you fight?
I start putting
I want to fight.
Or if we all
arrowheads
fight
in my
together?
pocket as darts, just in case I gotta throw.
They don't work that way.
Jesus.
Because they're
I
not weighted
remember him
properly.
hanging out so many times. Remember when we were in the haunted house and he kept on being upstairs, probably ripping off arrows then.
I'm-
While we were all downstairs trying to fight that ghost. Where was he? Oh, are you doing okay?
Okay, well, I
You
mean,
got this.
How quickly she forgets that's right before I fended off the Sturges from the unconscious ones.
That's right. He did protect everybody.
I protected everyone right before that.
I just don't know. I mean,
How quickly you forget.
I wasn't there for that one, so I don't know.
Sure, we were all fighting him.
I don't exist.
Yeah, but everybody went down but him.
I wasn't down.
Okay, well,
I hadn't
I
been hit
digress.
yet. I was down below.
I digress because I just asked him if he's going to fight the captain. He said, "Do what now?"
No,
He
no.
was down.
Roleplay wise,
He
Yeah.
was
it's
down.
more or less I'm trying to do the little deal while you guys are having your conversation. I didn't even pay attention to what you said.
Yeah. No, and I think you're giving him too much credit that you thought he was going to fight the captain.
Well, he's gonna have to fight the captain if we start fighting him.
I thought he was too.
Okay. Well,
So
He was
it's
just-
all-
we,
Don't have faith in God. Have faith in Kern.
I ask Elgith if he's okay with us tying him up in the belly. What's the bottom of the ship called? Just so we don't
The
have
hull.
to fight him.
The whole
bilge.
bilge.
Or like,
Well, bilge is the very, very bottom, but if you know about in the holds, you just tie him up in a hold.
Why
Or
do
like
we
put-
have to tie him up?
the captain has his soul.
Yeah, but you have like a whole bunch. His crew's gonna come after you.
Yeah, crews were going. Crews
Yeah,
all
Yeah, but
loyal.
I don't want to fight you. We're trying to protect you. I mean, if we didn't care about you, we would have just left.
We can make a deal with the crew. If we defeat the captain, they
Well,
don't
if he's-
interfere.
He has
will
their
free
souls
them.
on a
If he's still his
necklace.
soul-
He doesn't have their souls.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's not theirs.
He has the souls they've proxied, and they all proxied SOBs they don't like.
Okay, no, that's
So these
that-
people are not very
They're not good.
morally compass
No,
completely
but you know
north.
something? That Pong,
Pongid, Caesar.
that
Wish I
came
was
up
an
to us
assassin.
wants
Just
to
sneak
be
up in the crew.
captain.
Just
What
No,
if we make a deal that he can become captain if the ship,
No, but we want the ship.
crew revolts on the captain and we'll help?
that's not how that works.
Is the captain still gone?
No, he's back on
He's
board.
back.
He's back already.
Is there a way to see if the captain could take control of like the soul that's inside my body?
He has this. No, you don't.
Could he
You
take
don't.
control?
If he can control you.
He may be able to control you because he can do things to your soul.
But is there a way
You don't know.
to, oh,
You have to test it. You want to test that?
yeah.
I don't want. You want to test? Okay, you go for it, man. That's
Get
your
out
call.
of
It's
the
your
way.
soul. I'm
Hey,
not-
Captain, command me to do something.
You're captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
So are we still? We're still docked, or
Yeah, because you're they're loading right now.
Or I could like pretend I'm under his control, but if like I'm not under his control, and then after when everybody's like fighting stuff,
Well, he told us. He told us he knew you were. You told us he knew who you were lying. So
Yeah.
do we assume he has some like gaze into your mind?
Or perhaps he's just untrusting in general.
I mean,
yeah.
if he lies about everything, of course.
Everybody lies. That includes the good guys.
Yeah.
Or sells souls of their friends in their party.
A harsh moment taken under duress is not a reason to lose one's
The
head.
guy who says.
You know
So
the
we'll-
guy who says don't.
I hate to
make
do this
do-
to you, but we're coming up on the end of our time. We've got about 10 minutes left. So if
wanna
you're going to
start-
engage him, we'll
haven't
engage him
you-
next time if
I've
you really
died
want it.
multiple times already.
Well, hold on. I was going to say, haven't
Do
you?
you want to
in
do
the
that
past
in port
told
or
us-
out of port? Recommendation out of port. Because if you're in port, then maybe the port rules will kick in and you might have more than just the crew to
The
do.
portcullises.
Can we start just for the last couple minutes? I want to talk to crew members. And
Sure.
kinda, not subtly, but like hint at like, oh, maybe like we need change here. Like,
Yeah, no, they're
New management is his.
no, they're very glad of what they've got because they've made all of their homes safe by putting the threats to their homes as the souls they sold. Since they're
So
selling by
he's
proxy.
providing a service they want.
Okay. So we know that we're going to be alone in this fight.
But he
Well,
might not be.
and his way has never been mean. You've not seen him do anything to any of the crewmen bad. The threat of flogging, you've not even seen a flogging post. The crew is happy, well motivated, serving the same purpose he is, as far as that's concerned.
Except for
So the idea of causing a mutiny by attacking the captain,
It's unlikely.
unless for some reason you had a moral compass where they were jumping behind you for a loyalist basis, but he's still showing the same purpose you have, even of going after the other.
Can we just offer him somebody else's soul to just get mine back? Like a bad person, so he won't trip. No.
Sure, but if you, as soon as you start talking like that, there's somebody at this table that'll
Well, I'll
revolt.
talk to the captain on my own.
Okay, who are you gonna offer? Who's the bad person you're gonna offer?
I'll probably go off on my own and look for somebody.
That's awesome.
It has to be somebody that whose soul is intertwined with yours. Somebody
Somebody
that
I
you
know.
know of. Somebody you know of,
Oh, that's
just
easy.
from the story.
No, I'll just
That
leave.
is a bad. Yeah,
I wanna
so
do
just
that.
hold on to it till later. It's not gonna hurt you. It's honestly, the yellow eyes is not gonna hurt you. You got until 4th level to fix this.
Also, keep in mind, you are a paladin, and that is talk of damnation
Yeah, no, that's
to
why I
a
was
soul
like,
that might not necessarily deserve it.
I say we jump ship then. If we're not gonna fight him, I say we jump ship.
Well, the captain said he was gonna find a way to get you home. He just didn't say when.
That's the problem.
And we technically know we're just captives. He has no control over 4 of us in this.
I'm gonna start converting the ship. I'm gonna get converts to religion. That's what
How
I'll
so?
do. Why not?
No, I mean, how so?
Well, start preaching.
What are you going? What's your message?
What's your delivery?
My message is of light and light
Fighting?
and how it fills the soul. And
The one
makes
time
the
we-
Yeah, you realize that every time you do that, what the biggest problem will be that the crew is going to feel very uncomfortable and stop the conversation pretty quickly because they have all condemned somebody to an abyss. Each one of them has willfully done so. So they're not going to convert to a religion of light and goodness because they can't ever attain that in their current condition.
redemption.
Yeah.
That's what you're suggesting.
There's redemption for evil deeds.
So the captain said he likes wagers, right?
He is a gambling man, yeah.
And does he like games of skill?
This was the one you said he plays.
Well, that's the one he said, but based on other context, I'm curious if he plays another game.
Specify.
I was actually about to. Flog.
Oh, I don't think anybody else at the table knows how to play Vlog.
That's
Maybe
kind
if
of
we,
the
maybe
joke.
yeah, maybe if after we've taught everybody how to play Flog, we could consider it.
It's just because he said that anyone caught off the ship is going to be subject to a flogging.
Yes, yes. No, he meant the old traditional.
I know what you're talking about.
Well,
I don't like this.
Let's just see if he's actually going to be taking us back to Selk now, or if we're going off course.
Right, because the captain hasn't even said where we're headed until.
Exactly. If we're panicking about him not taking us back, let's at least see if he is.
I agree.
I'm just so confused by you right now, Lucius. The one time we're saying to fight, you trade away the one weapon that can hurt him and don't want to fight.
What?
No, you realize
I-
you have
the
to realize he
consequences of that
faced death.
weapon.
He faced death, and when he saw someone dying, he had to do something that he himself would never do in order to save that person. Now, it didn't end up saving him, but he made the deal.
Yep.
And then also that sword, I've been wanting to get rid of it to an extent.
And Kern's been eyeing it.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we are going to call it for the day, and everyone makes 115 experience points.
Yay!
That much closer, and we will
Not that much
reconvene in 1
closer.
week. Thank you all for participating. Thank you to our
175
viewers for watching.
150.
Everybody,
150.
make sure you can, if you can, watch the other streams
125.
on Wednesday
Just
and
see we're
on
all off.
I thought you
Friday.
said one-
And everybody wave.